There's a lot of that trails behind your guys' name with leaked songs. How much of that is Ellie
like,
and
if we
Sidhu
make,
both
if we
said
make a
that?
song, right?
Yeah.
If say JJ produced it and I'm the singer on it, who has it? Me and him have it. No one else has it. So obviously it came from either him or me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
100%.
How do you take that in?
Welcome to Frequency and Friends podcast. I'm your host, Gultar Rai, and of course, we got Frequency's very own DJ M, J-Statik, Jyoti Dillon, and DJ KSR. We have a long-awaited episode today. A guest that we've been trying to get since we started the show.
This thing,
He represents all of Canada, but I'm proud to say that he represents my hometown, Brampton. I think we can officially call him Canada's Punjabi music ambassador. That's a fact.
North America's.
He's given us consistent hits for the past decade. Let me repeat that. For minimum the last 10 years, hit after hit after hit. Yeah, I don't think that I remember a time where this guy's taken a break at all. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have heard for at least your top 5 singers right now in the industry. You probably would have never heard of them if it wasn't for this guy.
100%.
So let's all make some noise for the one, the only Deep Jandu.
Woo! Well done.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, man. Thank you for making time for us. We know you're a busy man, so we're glad to have you here. How was your COVID quarantine, whatever you want to call it?
It's getting better now, but more with the family,
I thought the gang. We got all the RMG here, the whole crew's here. Let's make some noise for these guys too, man.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were gonna come in with the RMG mask on, man. We were trying to shoot that. We got so much to talk about, Deep. The history, the roots that you have here in Toronto, the relationships that you have with everybody in this room. The effect that you've had on the industry and internationally on music as a whole. We're going to go through it all today because we have no idea when we're going to get you back in here, so we got to cover it all today, all right? We're going to take a good look at your career from the beginning, and I want to take it all the way back on this show, we always go all the way back to the beginning, to your roots. I want to take it back to South Brampton, that Ray Lawson Steele's area. I know that's your home. Is there something I'm missing before that, or is that born and raised out there?
I think my music started from that area.
That area, right?
I lived in a different area before, but music started from that area.
Was it in the GTA, Toronto, you were?
I was in another area of Brampton.
Okay.
Towards BCSS. I don't know if you guys know what
Brampton Secondary.
Banting area.
Yeah, Kennedy and...
Moffat.
Okay. That's awesome, man. This show, we don't really use it as a platform to promote albums or shows or singles or nothing like that. We literally just want to appreciate the fact that you've dedicated your life to music. You've given us music to listen to, and the fact that you help so many artists and put so many people on. So that's what we're here to highlight. So we've already had a Jager bomb while we were waiting. So cheers, lift up your cups, and let's get it started. Deep, I got to take it back to, like I said, South Brampton. I know you went to Turner Fenton. Yeah. We got Chetan here. I've known him from Turner Fenton way back in the day. Tell me about your come up out there. Did you have musical influences around you and your family? How was that?
I think since I can remember, music has always been in my life. I can't remember anything else except for music. Even if I was going to school, I come home, make music at nighttime. I'll be waking up late to go to school because I'll be making music at nighttime. But I think if I think back when I really started, I think it was like 2005, 2004. I was in grade 6. That was when I really kind of started, I think.
Nice. Yeah. And in your family, did you have like uncles, aunts? Like a lot of the guests that we have that come in, either their dad wanted to be a musician, or their uncle, or somebody in the family. Did you have an influence like that?
Nobody in my family, but the only close person that was family pretty much was Jay Dilla. Locally, people probably know him. Yeah. He's my chacha. He's my real chacha. Nice. So he was the guy who started my music influence when I was a kid, because he was rapping at that time. When I was a kid, I used to watch him. He'd be performing at local shows. so looking at him, I got into the whole music situation. You know,
Was he doing like hip hop rap or Punjabi rap?
he was doing hip hop rap, just straight
Okay.
rap, hip hop rap.
And nothing to do with the Punjabi
Nothing to
industry.
do, and he started saying, "Hey, why don't you try making a hip hop beat?" So I started messing around with making hip hop beats, and that's where it really started from, was with hip hop and him.
Nice.
JD La.
So-
Locally, I think people know. You guys all know
Yeah,
JD La.
yeah.
Amway.
Yeah, he's my chacha, and then his whole family is really musically inclined. His dad plays vajja and everything.
Okay.
So I started learning vajja from his dad. That's where the Punjabi music started from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you probably got a lot of those, when we were back in high school, when you skipped school, they would do the automated phone call at home, right? So, like, you just turn up the speakers real loud and make sure nobody heard that.
Your son in grade.
As Miss Class.
Oh, man. So in school, you're learning how to make beats. So it wasn't singing first. It was all production side of things.
First, it was actually I started DJing for him.
Okay.
Because he was rapping, he'd go to all these gigs and he'd want me to come with him. I would DJ at the gigs for him, play his songs while he's performing.
How old were you then?
Chen, how old was that, you think?
14, 15.
13, 14 years
What's
old.
your DJ name?
DJ Nutch. is my
Okay,
name.
no, it's an infamous name, man. I heard that so many times. I was asking a few of my friends who went to Turner too about you before the show, and they're like, "Man, DJ Nuts, he just used to hold it down." Like,
so looking at him and how the whole hip hop thing was, like he'd take me at nighttime to Toronto and sell CDs on the corner, because at that time CDs were big. You know, people would be selling. Go to Toronto. If you were a local rapper in Toronto, you'd have to go to Toronto and literally sell your CDs at the back of your trunk for people to hear it. At least when people were going clubbing at nighttime.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember back in the day.
Hell yeah.
All these people would be selling CDs. So he would take
was
me
a
at
hustle.
nighttime. Yeah, but my chacha, because he rapped, he would take me at nighttime to sell CDs for him.
okay.
So
like
I
that.
literally took that same hustle, and then when I started DJing, I made my own Punjabi mixtape, and then I took the same hustle, and that's how I met Minister, because he was playing ball at the court, and I was like, "Hey, you want to buy? Hey, you want to buy my CD?
Yeah.
You want to buy my CD?" So I was selling it to these guys.
I remember buying the Amway the mixtapes from the local Punjabi shops in my neighborhood as a kid. I was like grade 4 or 5, I think.
I remember Minister used to have his own crew back then. They had their painted hats. They had him, Paul, a couple of them. They all had the whole Sandy crew. And I was like, "Man, how do I get one of these hats, man?" They're like, "You got to be a Sandy to get one." I was like, "Damn it." God
To
damn.
be honest, like growing up, everyone that was around me, all for some reason, were into music. Like even Kamal, like back in the day, I can remember like seeing his name on flyers, DJ KSR, when I was a little kid. I'm like, it was, searching and following his steps pretty much, because he was remixing back in the day and trying to become a DJ, because I wanted to become a DJ first, right?
Yeah.
So DJ Nutch, I started remixing songs. I think I dropped 2 albums as a DJ.
Yeah.
And then I started focusing more on making beats.
So the albums were like mixes that you guys put together, or
Yeah, there were remixes, like Punjabi
okay.
songs with hip hop beats on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kamal, you were gonna say.
Yeah, I had Bhangra Cult series too back then, and he used to do mixes for me as well.
Yeah.
Stole mixes.
Oh, he
and
was
stuff
on Pungra Cult.
Yeah.
Sick.
And
That's how I first heard of him.
Wow.
That's crazy.
just to
That's
put
sick.
like Brampton in perspective for the people listening, like now you drive around Brampton, it's a little Punjab basically. 20 years ago, it wasn't like this at all, man. You guys probably remember growing up.
Yeah.
It was a few of us Punjabis, and we started to grow, but it's taken literally 20 years minimum to fill it up, and we painted the town brown slowly. Now you go everywhere and it's little India, right? But having that around and not having too much Punjabi influence, like where did you pick up your sounds from? Was it more hip hop based, or were you looking to India or UK for influence?
I think it was more hip hop based, because I was listening to hip hop at that time.
Yeah.
But then, I think everyone here had an influence in my life at some point or not, like especially JJ. We'll get into that, I guess, a little bit later.
Yeah.
Everybody had some kind of influence for me. Like it was a learning, right?
Yeah.
Every person I met that had something to do with music, I tried to learn off them. And with the music situation was that I started making beats, trying to figure out how to use the software. While doing that, people helped me on the way. Like if I had a question, I would ask KSR, ask JJ, or other people in my life, or Minister, or people that were older than me that were doing it, to kind of understand how the music works.
Nice.
So
And you got a pretty good response from everybody, eh?
yeah, like I was a kid and I released my first 2 albums as a kid, and then like someone like KSR is like, "Yo, start remixing for me, or send me your songs you have." I was on his albums.
Yeah.
And like just back-to-back remixes, and then slowly I got into singing after that. You know what I mean?
Nice. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. I mean, you could definitely tell, like, it all makes sense now that you're talking about where you got your hustle from. Because I've seen you work. I've been to your studio, and it's nonstop. Like, you know, you finish one thing, you're on to the next. So I guess you got to attribute that to your chacha for starting the early hustle,
exactly.
and then all these guys for helping through there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you mentioned that. Was that a little bit later? I guess
I don't know when it was, but Team India.
Yeah.
You remember that? That's the first time I remember his beats and what like he used to bring. Did I have my laptop?
You
or
had
he-
your laptop.
Yeah.
I was,
Do you guys remember what year this was?
like
Fuck
about
knows.
music influence. I was always around music. Even as a kid, I used to dance. I don't look like it now, but
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I used to do punk. I was really into music and arts and stuff like that. You know? So I used
He's
to dance.
always had a voice.
Yeah.
The guy's regardless if it's singing or just like share. What was it?
Share,
Share,
yeah.
So
I didn't know I had a voice. Like I would be practicing with these guys doing punk and I'll be singing along to the songs.
Hypes you the fuck up.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Yo, you sound good. Why don't you start singing?" Right?
Yeah.
And
Sick.
I didn't take it seriously, but then they started forcing me to do shades in front of the SGPD started do a shade in front of it, and that's how I got into it. To be honest.
Sick.
Yeah.
I remember seeing those
Do you
videos.
remember the first shade from Team India that you guys are talking about?
Something like that.
So those of you listening, Team India is basically a Bhangra team that JJ and Deep were on together. Was it just the two?
It
of
was
you?
like a long time ago. It was one time.
Okay.
A one-time performance that never ever happened again.
Who came up with the
Who
name?
were the other teams?
Trust me, that team went down just because of the name.
I think the time that I was with that team, they won no competition.
Nah.
Like I think the
We were
time,
ground shaker, I think. That's it.
We won.
Yeah.
We were there, right? We won
Ground
nothing.
Shaker
As
won?
soon as we all left, they started winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me he's like me and Deep dance together. I was like, hold on, I know you guys make music. What do you mean dance together? I was like, it didn't make sense. Like you're saying, like you guys are both bigger guys. You don't see that.
But that's where we weren't you on FL at that time? Or
No, I was on Adobe Edition the whole time.
Yeah.
Adobe Edition.
and then I was using Reason.
You were using Reason.
And then
yeah.
he's like, what do you use on Reason? And I'm like, what the hell do you
Yeah,
do
that
on
was-
Adobe
yeah.
Audition? And then we just started talking about
one day
that.
we were practicing, he had his laptop open and he was just doing something on.
Because I was doing the mixtape
on-
the
yeah,
mix
on
for
Reason,
the.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? This looks crazy.
Yeah.
And I started asking him. I remember him asking me, you're sitting on the sofa.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah,
start
yeah.
showing me, oh, this is how you put the kick in, this is how
Yeah.
you do this. I'm like, okay. I went home, downloaded the program, started messaging with that.
All at the SGPD Academy.
Is that something you still use today, or you
No, I don't
transitioned to
use
something
Reason.
else?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no.
okay. Nice.
Sick.
And then lost my train of thought there. Oh, I wanted to ask you because it's not only music, but I know you have a vast background of like just doing random jobs too. I know you worked with your dad in the cabinetry industry.
yeah.
I know you drove truck. I know you sold insurance.
Yeah.
Like I mean, is there anything else that you did growing up as a?
I was
random-
always hustling.
Yeah.
To be honest, my dad was my biggest support.
Yeah.
Because anything, he saw that I had a love for music since I was a kid. So even working with him during the day at the shop, at nighttime, he's like, you see me making music. So he helped me build a studio at the top of his shop. So he's like, you don't have to go anywhere. You work, and then after you
Yeah.
make your music upstairs at the shop.
So there was never a time where he was like, "No, shout out to you,
No,
go to school."
even if I was at work and there's like a little bit of break, he'd be like, go upstairs, go make music. So my dad was always
That's
supporting.
awesome.
Yo, let's give a shout out
Yeah,
to your
yeah,
dad, man. That's huge.
yeah.
I don't know. I know,
bro.
like
Yeah.
Adi, I don't know if you've been there, but the studio on top of his dad's shop was like
No,
you
it's a
walk in and
spot.
everybody that's ever been in, there's names on the wall,
Yeah.
and it was like sick.
Exactly.
That's dope. It's not the studio anymore, though, right?
No,
Now you guys are
my
the-
dad sold the shop. He retired, right?
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
yeah, my dad has been my number one supporter from day one.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
To have that when you're a kid is there's not much more you need. You get the battery in your back and you just go. You know?
Even his first album, it was pure. Like I remember going to every music video shoot. His dad was there, just fully supporting.
Exactly.
I remember-
Fully
Yeah,
supporting.
when I was a kid, right? Like 16, 17, I think I was. No, 15. I started the album. It took 2 years to make the album,
Yeah.
and I think I released the album when I was 17. 16, 17, something
Yeah.
like that. But that whole process, my dad was there with me every step of the way.
Uh-huh.
If I want to,
crazy.
Dad, Miss Pooja was hot there. Dad, I want Miss Pooja on the track. Let's go to India.
And back then it was a
Yeah.
bit different
Yeah,
too. Like you
huge.
had to pay for everything too. You know, like
Yeah.
music videos and all that. Like
So I remember
And
I had to.
you had a track with Mr.
Yeah,
J.
and
saw
I
that,
remember I had to
yeah.
work extra hard for my dad because I'd be like, "Oh, Dad, I want to do this."
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Okay, put your hours at work.
Yeah.
You made this much money. Now you can pay for this." So he would like have like a game with me that
But
you
it-
want to do this, no problem, but make sure you work this much.
Yeah.
And I'll work
That's
hard
sick.
for a week, 2 weeks.
It
And then,
taught you
okay,
that.
Yeah, like okay, now you can pay for this music video. Now you can go to India. You can do this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's literally how he would do it with me.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
see that the blood, sweat, and tears you put into it. You don't want to waste the money either after you work so hard and you put it into
So
a project.
at that time, his puja was popping. My dad's like, I was making the album with Hansman. Big shout out to Hansman.
Yeah.
He was a big inspiration in my life to learn. Like I was making hip hop music. But to learn about Indian music was another level. You got to know rags, you got to know keyboard, and he was the guy that in my life at that time came and was playing the harmonium,
talented.
was singing, playing chords, playing all that stuff. So when I met him, I was like, he opened up a whole new vision of music to me, which was Indian music,
Yeah.
Punjabi music.
Uh-huh.
I love listening to it at parties and all stuff, but I didn't know how it was made.
Okay.
And when you see someone making it, it's like, whoa, chords and the bass line, everything has to be on key.
Cubase. He had like in
Yeah.
Cubase then. What year was this?
This is like 2007, 2006.
He had like 50 layers of instruments on Cubase, and back then on those computers,
Wow.
that shit barely ran.
That's crazy.
Barely ran.
And that was all here in Toronto.
Yeah, he's from Toronto.
Yeah, he's from Toronto.
Sean
right?
Punjab.
Yeah, he was from Shani Punjab, right?
Uh-huh.
But he was a big, he opened up Punjabi music to me. And
He did your whole first album,
yeah,
right?
he did my whole
Nach
first album, Nach album. And that's what got me into the Punjabi man was him. the
That was
Punjabi music.
the first album you mixed and mastered.
Yeah.
too? So
So they had it like pre-mixed. I just came back from New York, I think,
You just learned mixing mastering
Yeah.
in New York, yeah.
and then
so you guys knew each
they-
other before you went to
Oh,
Canada?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay, wow. Holy.
I think I've known him since university or high school, end of high school or university.
Uh-huh.
But then they brought the album, and then at
Yeah.
that time I thought I knew what I was doing. I didn't. And
This song you're hearing, listen to
Yeah.
it, he mixed it.
yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy. Man.
That was your first proper project too. Right?
His and Randy's, I don't know which one happened
Randy's
when.
happened first,
Oh, okay.
and then mine
And
was
then
after
yours,
that.
yeah.
'Cause you already had Notorious Jackal.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It already came out that time.
Yeah.
Sick. Notorious. Job.
So when did UK happen? Because you moved out to UK as well, right? Was that long after? Or was that around when you're 16, 17?
So I dropped the timeline was I dropped my album 2008 to 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the whole album, I think locally people started like saying, "Oh, this is the deep you sing."
March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness. Shout out to Minister. He did that show.
Yeah.
Minister has always been
Yeah.
in my life. Just
Let's talk about the show.
Let's talk about
like
that.
it
shit.
was-
That was the first time I DJ'd somewhere.
It was
Yeah,
a stepping stone
I
for.
think Minister. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Kamal. I think Minister had opened up a lot of avenues for a lot of local talent that I would like to say. Like I don't come.
100%.
We've all been in each other's lives, but he was one of the guys that was like, all these guys are my friends. They all do music. Let's do a fucking show.
100%.
Yeah.
That lineup.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he
So many people.
I dropped my album from India. I come back and the first show was he did it.
Yeah.
My friend.
AK Amazing was on that. We had Humble the Poet.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. You know what? I've known Chetan from way back, and I didn't know any of that, man. I guess we were up.
Jäger
there.
shot.
That was
Yo.
like a breaking point for a lot of us, even for me as a DJ. Like that was my first proper show, and he put us on. It was AK's first show. It was one of Humble's first show,
Yeah.
and even Jyoti and like Manit said he was DJing. I don't remember. him
Yeah, I
DJing.
remember Tanvir called me, and Tanvir's like, "Yo." Tanvir called me, like, "You're opening up," and I was like, "Sick, I'm down."
wicked.
Tanvir is how I met Deep, Chetan,
All the
all you guys. I met him through Tanvir.
wow.
Man, whoever's got the
Crazy.
footage to that March Madness, you have the footage.
I have
to that?
pictures.
Oh, yeah.
You have the footage, eh?
I-
talking about it yesterday. Actually.
Yeah, are you?
Oh.
You're.
All the jam just stopped.
That's
That's
dope, man. That's
crazy.
dope. Yeah, I know. Minister was working on sort of like a tribute to Canada and all the musicians. He had everybody recorded, so I'm excited to see that too.
Yeah,
Hopefully
yeah.
that comes out soon, man. That's dope that you guys have not only been friends, but you guys have turned it into a business and worked together and stuck together. It's really difficult when you grow older and you start to get in your own path, and you got bills to pay that
Exactly.
to stay as a unit. And you guys have stayed as a strong unit. So
Same
it's
with you
dope.
guys, man. All you guys have seen, growing up, I've seen you guys all together.
Yeah.
Same with you guys, man. Big shout out to you guys.
Oh, that's it,
this
man.
is what you guys are doing here is another situation to help the Canadian music. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. That's it. Yep. No, absolutely. UK. So I want to know a little bit more about that. So what happened? What was the idea behind going to UK and I'm gonna go live out there?
So 2008, I dropped my album, and then 2009, 10, I had here there one or two singles that came out.
I think you're in Kamal's singles. Then
Yeah,
too,
New
right?
Punjab.
Yeah, New
I think
Punjab
2010 or 11.
2010. So I'd
Around
say 2010.
Yeah.
New Punjab came out. Then I had another song called Gaddi that came out. And then John was with
Sick.
Roach Killer, right?
Yeah.
Roach Killer at that time, I remember was huge. He had songs like I'm in Here coming out.
Didn't he have Gippy song?
He
then?
had Gippy
Yeah,
songs.
Nusha.
Like he was huge at that time.
Yeah.
To have him on a feature was crazy.
That was a sick track.
And I think locally he knew who I was, but to make that happen, I think it was Tanvir C. Do you remember who did that? Roach Killer. Yeah, John. I think Tanvir knew Roach Killer.
Oh, damn.
He played the old Roach.
sick.
Whatever. It was, someone in the circle knew Roach,
Yeah.
and then that song happened, John, you know.
Yeah.
And then he, at that time, from the start, he was living in the UK.
Yeah.
He was always living in the UK. I guess he was here for a show, and then we did the song.
I remember him here. I barely remember
Yeah.
him in the
Yeah?
UK. That's the only time I remember him. Is
he
here.
used to live here.
Yeah.
He hosted one of my mixtapes like back in the
Back in
day.
the day,
Like
wow.
that. Yeah. So he lived here, downtown area.
I
Then he
remember,
moved.
I remember seeing him in clubs, and then randomly I remember he's out in the UK. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Serious?
But-
I mean,
Yeah.
remember when he came, him and Blitz were saying they all moved out there for a bit to
Yeah.
hustle their cities,
Yeah.
and from there he just stuck with
At the
it.
time, like he's doing all the stuff too. UK's a hub, right?
Yeah,
so
UK's the hub,
you got to go there to make it. Like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so at that time when I did the song, the song released, came out, locally it came out.
Yeah.
We didn't have no crazy money to put on TV because at that time, like India was all about if your song plays on TV, then people know who you are. If your song doesn't play on TV, then no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even YouTube was new at that time.
Mhm.
The song came out on YouTube, but it wasn't really.
Nobody had
Yeah.
data
No one
pack.
really knew what YouTube
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
It just
Especially
came out.
India.
Like I literally saw from my music to speak about my song. I literally saw the transition when my album came out where there's no YouTube.
Yeah.
And then as soon as 2009, 2010, every YouTube came.
Yeah.
Now you're uploading your own songs on YouTube. So it was
Yeah.
crazy.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
man.
crazy.
I remember,
And then-
like-
yeah, and then the John song came out. Then Roach was in the UK, and then he's like, "Yo, why don't you come here? The hub is here." So I flew out there to see him.
Crazy.
How long did you stay there?
I was there from 2012ish to like 2013, end of 2013.
Yeah.
Where'd you stay in London or Southall or
Leicester.
Leicester?
No, I was in Manchester.
Manchester.
Okay.
I
said
did
in
something
Manchester?
stir. Something stir. Something with a stir.
Manchester.
Did you become a Manchester fan, Man U fan, or no? Not really. Eh?
Like when I was there, Roach first took care of me for the first 1-2 months.
Uh-huh.
And then he introduced me to Surinder Rutten. I guess he was working with Surinder Rutten on his album.
Mm-hmm.
And Surinder's from Manchester.
Okay.
So he would come to his house to meet him for his album, and he would see me like, "Yo, who's this Canadian guy sitting here?" I'll be in their session sitting in the back.
Uh-huh.
And Surinder's like, "I really like your voice." He's like, "Why don't you let me do your album? Let me launch you and all that stuff." So I'm like, "Sure, man." That was a blessing for me because I'm some kid from Toronto, and you see all these names. Like Surinder Rutten is still a big
Huge.
name.
Yeah.
He's a legend. He started like RDB,
Yeah.
Roach pretty much. Gary Sundhu, his first song was with
Yeah.
Surinder Rutten.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of big names from UK were first started with
through
Surinder.
Yeah.
So he took me under his belt, and he's like, it's hard for you to make music if you're all the way at Birmingham. Like you need to come to Manchester. So I started living in Manchester.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
dope.
that whole time period from 2012, 13 or 14, I was in Manchester and making my album with him.
Okay.
That's
okay.
crazy.
How'd you like the UK life?
It's good, man. It's
Yeah?
good. It's
a lot
good,
of
man.
pubs, a lot of fish and chips.
I'm not
all
really
that,
into that,
yeah.
but it really made me a man because there
You
I was
lived on your
I was there by myself in a different country,
Uh-huh.
and I'm used to Brampton. You do go to work, come home, you always have money in your hand, you're good to go. You're doing things. There, I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I have to go find a job. I remember I worked at some convenience store there.
Man.
Ride my bike to the convenience store. Make £5 an hour. Come home and then try to invest that back into my
That's
music.
so
Oh, wow.
fun.
Yeah, and pay my rent and all that stuff. So I was
Yeah.
grinding there for like 2 years.
That's a hustle and a half.
And at that time, I learned how to stand on your own 2 feet. You have to buy groceries. Go get your groceries. You have to do this. Go do this.
Yeah.
So I learned how to live on your own, man. And
No,
I'll never take that experience away from me because it made me who I am.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. That's a lot of things, that, especially from our Punjabi culture. We lived at home with our parents for a long time. You don't even know how to, I didn't even know how to use the laundry machine for the longest time.
Exactly.
I never
That's
needed
still
to.
though.
Dishwasher, none of that shit. And that's a fact. It's embarrassing to say, but
Yeah.
it's true, man. That's just how it is. But that's dope that you had the experience to live on your own and grow, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Was that the album you're talking about? Is that In Too Deep?
That's
you
called
made it
Into. That's my second
Okay.
album. It's called
Yeah.
In Too Deep.
Uh-huh.
So the first one was Nutch, and this one was called In Too Deep.
And so you finished the album out there and then released it from out in UK?
Yes, I think I came back and then they released it.
Okay.
VIP released it.
So
Oh,
what was,
sick.
what was the reason for coming back? The album was done, or you just
So
didn't
the
see?
album was done. It was just like I'm the only son, so I had to come back to my family here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the experience was crazy. I think we finished the album. I came back, and then I think 2 months, a few months later, the album came out. VIP released it. Big shout out to Vips. He passed away.
Yeah.
He was another guy in my life that when I was in the UK was really believed in me. And at that time, like I never heard about selling music to a label before. I just made music. So he was the first guy that was like, "Here's money, do the album." Like, that's the first time I saw money exchange happen for my music. You know what I'm trying to say? And
Yeah,
that's-
before it
That's
was
crazy.
yeah, he's like, I love all the songs. This is the money. You know, you do this. I want you to do this videos. He flew me out to LA. I did a song called Nishana with J-Him. Paid for that video. Like that was the first time I saw the business aspect of things. You know.
Yeah.
And he was one of the guys that really believed in the music, and he was ready to front money for it. Otherwise, who else is gonna spend money on some random guy from Toronto?
man. That's wicked.
No, you speak about roots, and you know, just as we're talking, I'm putting a lot of the dots together. Like you speak about like Bohemia and Jay-Hin. Like you've known them some. What was that? 2010, 2011,
Yeah.
probably when you flew
Yeah,
out there.
2011,
And
2012.
your recent album, you're still doing music with them. You know, so like it doesn't seem like you lost connection with a lot of people that you made.
Even if you can see in this room, like everyone, even this with me, has been with me for the past 20 years or more.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Like Shivji's my little cousin, classic. He's been my best friend since I was 2 years old. Munda is a new in the camp right now.
Yeah.
Munda Music, Birds is my friend. Parma has been my backbone since I can remember. Minister Music, like I said, he's been there from the start. You know?
That's dope. You know, Parma's a good singer too, man.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get to Parma. Parma's the backbone behind everything.
He is.
Yeah,
I've seen that. I've seen that in person.
He's the
man.
backbone behind everything.
Yeah,
we do.
if you want to get something done with Deep Jandu, you got to go through Parma.
Exactly,
Yo. That's
yeah.
that's the way it goes, and that's dope that you guys keep that solid relationship, man. That's awesome, man. Creating RMG, so like you're over here now. Did that come a lot later, or was RMG something that started once you got back to Canada?
So RMG was. So I came back to Canada, released the album. I think 2014. I went to India, and my friend Upinder Taliwal, he's from India. He was from here originally,
Rest in
and
peace.
we
Right?
rest in
Rest
peace.
in
He passed
peace,
away. We originally met. We used to work at FedEx together in the trailers.
The Goreway.
Yeah, you know how
big one?
you load the trailers and unload them.
I did that
So,
job.
yeah, so
I knew I did it too.
So I was loading one of the trailers, and he was loading the trailer beside me.
Oh, okay.
And we just met each other, and we became really good friends.
Uh-huh.
And this is like 2013, I think. And then he, for some reason, moved to India around that time, in 2013, 2014. And then when I went to India, I met with him. I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, you're from Toronto. What the hell are you living in India for?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And then he, I guess, had some businesses going on there.
He had
that-
like a gym.
Like he was young and really, really business like. He was already making, like, at that time, I didn't know what business. He had businesses open at that time.
And he's
That's
same age as
crazy.
you.
Yeah, and I'm like
Yeah.
16, like, you know what I mean?
Jeez.
So when
He
I
was
see-
living alone in India. He
Yeah,
had like
he-
a
he-
gym. He had
he had like
businesses
he had his
going.
own condo. He had a business, a fitness there. So like even my conversations with him were all business. Like he was like, "What do you want to do? What should we do?" It's like he's always very businessy. You know what I mean? And he saw me doing music. You know, he'd share my music, blah blah. He's like, so like, why don't we start a label? Like he said, why don't we start? I'm like, wow, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we thought of the name Royal Music Gang. Even the original logo that's on every song right now, he designed that with his hand.
Wow.
Oh,
That's crazy.
We never changed it. That logo of RMG, he made it with his hand.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
he started it there, and then what happened was I think I came back and then I started focusing more on production. Because he's like, there's singers, you should start making music, you know how to do it, blah blah blah. And I started producing songs, and we started releasing it, 1 song, 2 songs from the label.
Yeah.
And then what happened at that time, I think 2014, Ellie came in the picture. We finished his album. His album was done, and then Upinder was gonna release his album. And right when the album was gonna come out, he passed away.
Oh,
So this was
shit.
2015. So I think the album was supposed to come out in December,
Yeah.
and he passed away in like November. He passed in December. Album was supposed to come out in November. So the whole album got delayed. And then because of this whole situation, everyone was upset. We just released Ellie's album just like that on the channel. I don't think he even came out on Royal Music Gang after. I think he dropped it on his own channel.
Yeah.
But it just came out, and that song, Affair, blew up 3 months after. So if it came out December, January, February, March, I remember March. I think March started. March, Affair started popping off everywhere. That's when I started receiving love that I'd never seen before as a producer.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's weird how people come into your life, but you met him. You know, he believed in you. You guys created something, and then he passed on.
So Ellie was pretty much the first guy that we launched in a sense, like as in like we put our time as in making the music and trying to do this.
Tell me the story about meeting Ellie, because he says he worked at a car wash. You came to wash your car.
I came back from England. So I was driving through, getting my car washed at a car wash in and out on Kennedy. So I'm driving in, took my things out. That time I already had like a whole bunch of songs out. I had 2 albums out, Gaddi, Nishana, all these songs have already come out. Yeah. Locally, I don't know about worldwide, no one knew who I was. Locally, I had these songs already out. So I guess he heard Gaddi or one of these songs, and he comes up to me, he's washing cars, he's like, hey Deep, he's like, I really love your music. He's like, I want to make a song. I'm like, okay, like here's my number, come by the studio. And literally that same night, he came by to the studio, and we just made his album from there. It took I think 8-9 months to make his album. Dropped his album. At that, I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. I was just making music. Like I've made music before.
Was he singing before that, or
no? He was a brand new artist.
Oh, okay.
He had no songs out.
Yeah, Affair was the last song we did.
I think
the last song.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I think the Daku was
on the album.
No, after his album.
Yeah, no, I'm saying on the album.
Yeah,
the
so the album was done. The whole album was done,
and
that's how we met Ladli Mundi as well. Ladli Mundi came. He's from here, and he wrote the song "Affair" and I think "Thug Life."
Thug Life, yeah.
Thug Life. He wrote those 2 songs, and those 2 songs were the last songs on his album. So we made those literally like the same day you were mixing the album. The next, I think, couple days we were going to India, and that was the biggest song on the album. It was literally last day.
Affair was massive, man.
How much truth is there to some of the things Ellie said in his interview that he had with, I think it was Benipal, where he's talking about, he created the RMG name, that, he these guys are laughing. I guess not much truth to it, but he said that, he didn't like you making music with other producers, or you didn't like him, making music with other producers.
I'll tell you about that whole situation. So pretty much, whatever he's saying is pretty much wrong.
Okay.
He's making no sense, okay? RMG has been there before he even came in the picture. Like I said, up in the Tollywood started all that stuff.
Yeah.
I guess he wants to feel like he was a reason why things popped off. But what happened was once his album came out, a lot of singers started coming to me. A lot of singers, this singer, that singer, people started coming to me, and I guess he didn't like it. I guess he wanted me to focus just on him. So I guess that's why he's saying that,
Okay. No, that makes sense, man. I mean, he talked about, the Speed Records thing. I guess you guys all made a track together, or the album or whatever.
But that was way later, bro.
That was
that's way later.
Okay.
But even the whole RMG thing, like I knew Upinder as well, so he helped me out in India. He did my bookings in India, and I didn't even know who Ellie was at that time. So it was Deep who introduced me. Exactly. And when we did your launch party for Into Deep, Chetan did that too.
Yeah, that was a sick party. That was a sick party.
A Filmy Taba. So, or
Sick
Tanvir
party.
did. You or Tanvir, one of you guys.
Huh? Yeah. Off the record. That's off the record.
So the thing is, I don't like even this interview. It took me so long to come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to do interviews. I just don't like doing interviews. Because I feel like that. I think I said this in the last interview as well. People know me for music, not for me to come here and talk about my feelings. And all that stuff. Now I appreciate what you guys are doing, but I just feel like that. That's how I've been from the start mentally.
Yeah.
That if I'm an artist, like it should be my music that speaks, or what I'm doing should speak, and your actions should speak. Not you're just sitting here and just talking.
Absolutely,
you know So I've always believed that, and I've always not liked doing interviews. Even on YouTube, I probably have like 3 or 4 interviews, and this will probably be the fifth.
You see that a lot. There's a lot of artists that they'd rather their music just speak for them. I mean, I got mixed feelings on it. I feel like when you're in the limelight, if you're a celebrity, you're a celebrity. I think everything comes with it: the good, the bad, the ugly. You kind of got to deal with it all. It would be nice if you could just make music and just put it out there. Do your shows and go home. But the reality of it is that people, they adore you, man. They like you. They're your fans. You see it when you walk down the streets. People come up to you
and
they want to take
like
pictures.
You mentioned earlier, you had an influence on so many people. Like Toronto became a hub of Punjabi music, right, for the past few years now, and you were definitely a pillar in that.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
A lot of us have a bigger opportunity than we would have had 5 years ago.
No, thank you, man.
You opened the doors. Like I said, you're Canada's ambassador, man. Sure. Like if it wasn't for you, Jazzy B's from Canada. He's rep BC. But as an artist, I've always looked at him as like a global India, UK style artist.
But like
you
he
know?
didn't like
Bro,
he
speaking
didn't
about
do
that,
anything
I just
for
wanna say one
other
thing.
artists.
I remember one time me and Parma were. I just want to quickly speak about Parma
Yes.
because at that Huntsman that stage when I met Huntsman, that's the same stage I met Parma around that
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Parma is originally a singer, you know, but he's a businessman as well.
Uh-huh.
So that's why he's the backbone of everything, and he handles all that stuff.
Mhm.
You know, and more other than that, he's a brother. You
Yeah.
know what I'm trying to say? So speaking on that, I remember one time we were making music and we were sitting in a car. And we called UK was huge with music is the hub like we said before.
Yeah.
And we had songs that we were ready to release, but we had nobody to release it. This was before RMG, maybe 2012 or something like that. And we called a label, which I'm not gonna say in the UK.
We could call him out.
Yeah.
But we shit on everybody here.
Do it,
So
do it.
I think Parma put it on speaker. I think we were both in the car. All right, that's what it was.
Yeah.
We were both in the car and we're like, what was it? Yeah, you were there too, right? Yeah, so we called them. We're like, hey, we're like from Toronto. We have these songs. I think we sent them the songs already, and they heard it or whatever the situation was. And we're like, you know, what do you guys think? Can you guys release the music for us? Because there's no label in Toronto. There's nothing happening in Toronto. And their exact words were that I'll never forget. Their exact words were, Canada has no talent.
Wow.
He's like Canada has no talent and no sound. He's like, you guys need to give up. And he's like, don't worry about making music. That's exact words. Like I might maybe change it.
I know exactly.
Can we call this person out?
No.
No point of that. But what I'm saying was
This is like an executive, not a singer.
no. This is the owner of the label.
Oh, owner of
This
the
is the
label.
owner of the label.
But that, yeah, in real talk, I don't think
Hold
that
on.
label is anywhere right now.
Yeah. So whatever we are, that situation happened and changed us, right?
Yeah.
So even when I was in, I think this was when I came back from England. To be honest, even after that was when the whole label situation. We're like, yo, this is crazy. They literally, England really thinks that Canada has no talent.
They probably
when
thought
we sat there, thought we're like the biggest artists are from Canada.
Yeah.
Jazzy B's from Canada.
Manmohan
Right?
Waters,
At that time,
Kamal
Geeta
here.
Jaldar was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
from Canada.
Yeah.
Sony Pabla, he's from Canada. Like everyone is from Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
It's different that they shift there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Yeah. So whatever the situation. Yeah, whatever the situation was, they were not playing our music or taking our music because we were from Canada, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything bad about UK music because UK music was always been an inspiration to me, and I love everybody from the UK.
Mhm.
You know, it just whoever that person was wrong to say that.
Yeah.
Because Canada music is worldwide. You know
It's
what I'm trying to say?
proven now though. Like look
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
look at the
And-
top songs
And-
now.
And UK at that time, I know they were dominating things. They have their own artists, they have their music directors and all that stuff. But you shouldn't you should open your. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should let
Shouldn't be
all the
so
artists in.
close-minded and
Exactly.
just thinking that you're gonna be.
So-
And,
and look what happened after that. We
The whole wave
came
has
back.
shifted,
We're like,
yeah.
screw this. We just dropped
Yeah.
non-stop music.
and now
music.
you
That's
see
great.
them ringing the
J-Statik.
phones of your guys and saying, "Yo,
Yeah,
can
now
we
I
come
think
out
they
here?"
did. They did call us.
Did
They
they call
called
back?
us back. They're like, we want to do a song. We said no.
Oh man, you
Sick.
should,
Smart.
you
Good for you,
Should have
man.
been like, UK doesn't have a sound anymore. We don't hear you.
Yeah.
No, that's dope.
No,
You-
I would really love UK to come back
Yeah.
and you know, they music UK is crazy, man. The
No,
band
it is,
there,
and
yeah.
I can't really say they fell off. It's just that Canada, you guys took over, and so the sound shifted, you know, and now it's over.
It was just
here.
a different sound. They were
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
something else in Canada. Where I think majority of the people grew up listening to hip hop,
Yeah.
and I think the whole sound came from like hip hop and told.
100%.
And you could probably explain that better than the whole sound of things. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I was speaking for myself. Like I was listening to hip hop, and I mixed those two together. That's what happened.
I mean, we could kind of thank that guy because it lit that fire under you guys to say, "Hey, look, we got to prove this guy wrong. We got to
Yeah, like,
open another
You were
avenue."
like, for example, all the other artists you named, they did end up going to UK, and you did that as well.
Yeah, I
You
did
got
that
a lot
also.
to learn,
Yeah.
but that kind of pushed you to come back, and then you kind of turned this
True,
into the
yeah.
hub. You did your music here,
Exactly.
and then there was so much to follow after that.
Yeah.
So
No,
sick.
That's dope, man. No, you guys opened a lot of doors. For me, I think you were the first artist that I saw put the flag on your back, really, and just be like, "Look, I'm Canadian. I'm not from any of these other places."
We were doing it for the start with New Punjab.
yeah, yeah, that video, right? I was in
we
La-
were saying that this is our.
Shot in
When
Toronto.
we were Atlantic City, me and KSR were. He showed me. He's like, "Oh, I just made a music video," and I didn't really listen to too much Punjabi music back then. But he showed me, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." They had a Lambo in the video. You guys were all over Toronto shooting that. You guys are both like skinny versions of you guys.
That was that was literally like my first like really like music video that we could say was a music video.
Yeah,
Everything else was just
It
like
was
yo,
wicked.
dude,
Sick video.
Even that, we went to Dundas Square. We didn't know about getting like permits or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, you can't shoot here." I'm like, "Oh shit, we didn't know that." So we went across the street, so you
shot
could
it.
see it in the back.
Yeah.
And then quickly did our shots and just left. And then we were
That's
representing
crazy.
Toronto. I think I was wearing Blue Jays. He's wearing Maple
I was wearing
Leafs.
Leafs,
And like,
yeah.
Oh, that's dope, man. And you could kind of say that. And I guess the concept behind it was that this is the new Punjab, right?
Good job, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's dope. Moving forward, you said that you're only son, right?
Yeah,
And you have other siblings as well?
I have two sisters. Yeah.
2 sisters, that's awesome. And then I think before the show, I wished your son a happy belated
Oh, thank
birthday.
you so
He just
much,
turned
man.
2 years
Yeah,
too,
thank
man.
you so
Happy
much.
birthday to him. Yep. Hey, let's go. Becoming a father, you know, like at such a young age too. You're not that old. You're taking care of your family life and your career. How has becoming a father changed you in life? Or what changes have
I think
you
everything
seen
is
in
same. I
yourself?
just started coming home early. That's it.
More responsibility.
Before I'd be like all night in the studio. You know, come home whenever I want.
Yeah.
But as soon as that, like you want to go home and see him. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's it.
Yeah. So
That
it's just
time.
you feel different, and to be honest, like at 5, 6 o'clock, I'm just like, look at the time. Let's go home now. I'm done now. You know?
Yeah. You don't want to miss it. They grow so quick, man.
Yeah.
Every day they're growing. So it's something that, you know, if you don't see them for a couple of days, you're probably like, holy
Yeah.
fuck, he started doing this or doing that.
It's crazy.
It's dope that you're able to keep a good balance. You don't see that with a lot of artists. They get caught up with the money and the music and traveling, and then the family comes after, right?
No, yeah, yeah.
so
It
is
becomes
he
difficult.
into music like you, or does he watch you on TV and like?
Yeah. Like
Does he know who his dad
we
is?
got him.
Daddy?
We got him like a little tabla.
Oh, nice.
And every time he sees like a song on YouTube or any song, he'll just start grabbing it and start playing.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Train him young, yo.
So give it 10, 15
Nah,
years,
well,
he's
to
going
be
to be
honest,
on
like
the show.
one thing, like my parents, they never really forced me to do anything.
Uh-huh.
Like they just like do whatever you want. If you like it, we'll support you. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I want to be the same. Like you do whatever. I don't care if it's music or not. Do whatever you want. And we're
Get
there,
him
you
some
know?
decks.
That's the best way though. I feel like
DJ
if,
Nutch too.
if you put a kid into school and be like, yo, you have to do this, you have to be a doctor, you have to. There's so much pressure. You just
Yeah.
fucking figure it
Yeah,
out.
They want to rebel
Yeah.
more if that's
Yeah.
the case.
Just figure it out.
Exactly.
Would you,
Just instill like your dad, like instill work ethic into them.
Yeah.
That's number
yeah,
one.
you
work
can
ethic
give them the
because
tools
do
to
whatever-
make the right decisions,
Exactly.
but you can't make their decisions for them.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, but if you don't have work ethic,
No,
you ain't
like
got
work
shit.
ethic. I mean, like don't force a kid to do something
Yeah.
they don't want. Is what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say.
Exactly.
if it was up to you, would you guide him into the music industry? You think it's something
Well,
you
if he
would want
likes
him to
it,
get
if he
into?
wants to do something, why not? Right? Like
Yeah.
we built such a big foundation for our whole life. You know, why wouldn't we want to do that? But
Mhm.
if he doesn't want to, it's all good too.
It's a tough thing though, because he's gonna be in your shadow. It's like Michael Jordan's son. He never played
Yeah.
basketball, you know, probably because he
Yeah.
can never, meet up to that. But I think it's tough when your dad's someone popular like that. Like,
But there's like people like Robin Thicke, man. His dad was a successful musician,
Yeah.
He was an actor. wasn't he?
Actor.
actor, Scotch
Yeah.
C,
yeah.
artist.
I don't even know who that is. To be honest.
But it's like different though. Like he didn't
He's
just.
an artist. He's an artist.
He's a singer,
No,
massive singer.
he's a singer. Yeah, he's
But
a
as far
singer.
as like
No,
setting
but
the
his dad
foundation,
was an artist. Actor.
Actor. Okay.
Same
like
thing.
he doesn't just sing or just produce. He's
Yeah.
got the label. They've got the whole team going.
Yeah.
So it's a whole family, and the kids growing up around that family
Exactly,
too, right?
exactly.
How about acting? You never thought about acting?
No.
Any
No.
movie offers?
No, if there was opportunity, I'd do something. Like,
Yeah.
But it's just not like I don't do it. You know what I mean?
We can't see you in Jat and Juliet 3.
Like when we were in India, someone called Parma, right? It was hilarious. They're like, oh, we're doing a movie. We want Deep to be in the video, in the movie. And Parma's like, to them, like, what do you guys want him to do? Like, he's not an actor. He's like, oh, there's a scene where someone comes out of the airplane, and Deep's gonna be standing outside, just gonna say, "Aage aaniyo, he will not damn." we're like, no way, man. That's hilarious. This is hilarious.
Oh man. No, acting's a different gig, but I've seen you in front of the camera, man. We were fortunate enough to get to shoot one of your videos, and you're a natural, bro. Like when that camera turns on, I've seen a lot of people behind the camera, and they're unsure about what they're doing, and you have that confidence. Where do you think that confidence came from?
I think it came from like as a kid doing Pangada with all these SGPD, singing, doing shares in front of like when I was like 14, 15, doing shares in front of massive crowds.
Yeah, man.
You get scared. I remember like my stomach like, oh, I'm about to do this. It's crazy. So I think those experiences when I was a kid growing up and then DJing and all that stuff, I think it built my confidence up to like even if I'm from a camera or an audience or you know how to handle it.
And it's big too because like as a producer, you're putting yourself in the limelight too, right?
Yeah.
Like back when like I'm in here, even when Shinda before he was singing, you didn't really know these guys.
Yeah.
So I think that was big for producers for you to come out. Then it's like you almost set it up for everybody. He's like, yo, I got to be in the video too, and it's like deep everywhere too, and that's big. And now you're known for both that and singing.
Nobody knew any of these producers and stuff. They tried singing songs themselves or shit like that.
Yeah.
I think
you were the first person that was like, yo, there's a
blessed.
singer, but it was like the producer. It was like the producer was bigger than the singer. It was the first time that ever happened.
Yeah, I think I was blessed in the situation where just as music was coming out, the Aage Ni Bilutam phrase caught on in India, where it was a blessing.
What's the story behind that?
There's no real story. I was just in the studio. I think we were working on Aman Tej's song. He's one of Ellie's cousins. By the way, his song's coming out tomorrow. So no promotion, like I said.
It'll be 2 days past.
So he was in the studio and he wrote a song for Ellie. In the starting, it's called Wait. The song on his album Wait.
Yeah.
The first two lines on the song, he's like, he sings like 2 lines of the song. The opening lines are that. Yeah. And when I heard those lines, I'm like, that's crazy, man.
It works for everything, every situation.
Yeah, I'm like, that line is just crazy, man.
Yeah.
And then I think I was working on Amrit Man's song Kali Kumero at that time, and
that was a big song.
It was my first as a producer. And then what I started doing was after the song, I started doing like a dubstep thing at the end of the song. Like after the song finished, I would mash up the song at the end, right? So before that happened, I just dropped. I
still remember that. I was like,
like, it was just like a whole bunch of sounds just changes up at the end, And then I remember after that, like for the next year, every producer was doing that.
Yeah, it became the thing.
100%.
So I think the first song that that I did that was Kali Kumero.
I remember you were telling us that people would message you and be like, "Paji, yo end te padio mar."
Yeah.
I think the first song I remember you did it to was Kambi's.
Yeah, so
Challenger?
I think it was all around the same
that
time.
I remember,
I was working on Kambi song, and then I did it on that Desi Swag.
Oh, yeah.
Desi Swag.
Yeah.
Then I think Amit's song came out, and it's just one of those things where like people, when they started calling to do music, they're like, you have to say Aage Ni Bilutam, you have to say our song name in the song, and you have to add the drop at the end.
Yeah.
So those are like 3 requirements that everyone was.
I remember after
Gali
Kali Kumero came out, it was just like one after another. Salute Bajde drop, this drop, boom, 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 boom.
And this is on a DJ end too, because like the songs get released every day, but once we're playing it, it's made it, and people are actually.
I remember we went to England and we were there at this like this wedding award show. And then at the after party, they played Salute Bajde.
Wow.
I was like jumping on the sofa. I was like, deep songs playing.
That's crazy.
I remember like when I went back to the Pind after all that, after you had killed it in India.
Yeah.
I think I brought him to the hotel that one time too. He had Aage Ni Bilutam written on his car. That's crazy.
No way.
Yeah.
Have you got any crazy fans like that? Like,
yeah, man. It's India is just.
You know what? What I wanted to know is like, yo, you live in like the heart of Brampton. Like, it's not like you've never like you start the same place for your parents' house or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Do you get like the crazy neighbor fans? They're like, Paji.
Yeah.
Birthday
honestly, I never. It's a blessing. What can I say? It's a blessing. Yeah. But there has been moments where it was just really, really crazy. Like for example, I'll give you a situation. I was with my wife. We were driving down, and this is like 3 a.m. We're coming back from a family party, and we're driving, and a car pulls up in front of us. Car pulls up behind us, and they're literally following us. And we're in the middle, and wherever I'm going, there's just one car and one car in the back.
That's weird.
The following, and then we're like, okay, whatever the situation is. I go, I drive, pull up in my driveway. This is like 3:30 in the morning now. I pull up in my driveway, and don't ask me why, but I had a bat in the back, right?
Baseball practice.
Just in case.
So I just told my wife to sit in there, I put up the windows and I grabbed the bat and I came outside, I'm like, it's 3 in the morning, like,
it's 3 in the morning, like, who's
you and your wife,
you?
right? Like, what's happening? And I come outside and I'm like, yo, what's good, right? Like what
That's how you know he's from Brampton. He's from Brampton.
And the guy literally, like, both cars were parked in front of my house, like, blocking my driveway. So, you know, and I literally stayed there to see if they're going to leave or not, but they didn't leave. So then when I did that, and, like, you know, they put their window down, like, very slowly. They're like, Baji photo. Right? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like
3:30 in the morning.
You should have took the photo with the
Yeah,
bat.
no, I said to him, I'm like, why did you guys have to follow me? Like, I live here. You guys know I live here. Like, I would love to take a photo with you. No problem. You know, I appreciate you guys' love, but
that's
it's not the right
messed
time.
up.
Like,
I remember when we were in India, when we met up with you, we went to Harmandir Sahib, and that was a crazy experience because we're all there trying to matha take, and people are there chasing this guy trying to get a picture with him.
Where was this? When was this?
The first time we went to India.
Oh yeah.
And the first time we went to India, I also remember going to Atlante Mall with him, and I think we
was
just
fun.
got there, and I don't even think knew how big he was until he walked in that mall, and there was, I swear
Game
to
over.
God, it was just 1, 5,
We went to
10,
watch Fast and
30,
Furious
50,
as well.
and it just ended up being a crowd where he's like, yo, we got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Can you travel in India like by yourself now? You have to
no,
have
none
security.
of us can, man.
No, right?
None of us.
You
It's
got
just,
At Harmandir Sahib, people
To
were
me,
just coming up to him
like
trying to take
to
pictures.
go into those situations just because I appreciate, you know,
The love.
I appreciate everybody. You know, I never ever imagined that I would get that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because I'm just some kid from Brampton that just made music. You know what I'm trying to say? Now you go to India, and it's crazy.
That's crazy.
But it's amazing, man. I try to go into those situations, but sometimes it's just hard. You know what I mean?
What's one place in the world that surprised you when you went there and you realized you had that many fans?
India, man. India,
yeah?
India's thing, you know.
Yeah.
And especially all the for the past 2-3 years, all the international students, they've been coming to Toronto and Vancouver and all that stuff. So they literally heard the songs from India and they come here and they're like, I'm living down the road.
Yeah.
Right? So-
The first time you went to India after everything,
Yeah.
you were talking about when you first walked into the hotel.
yeah,
Do you remember that?
I don't remember, to be honest.
I remember you telling me like you walked into the hotel and all the staff was just surrounding
Yeah.
you.
And
that's when you were like,
we were
holy
staying at
shit.
JW. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're sitting there and a kid comes up to me. He's like, yeah, he's 2 years old or something like that. Parma
2
knows
years?
and he's saying it. His dad. Yeah.
I remember you saying like that's
There's so
when it
many
hit you,
moments,
like,
Jyoti, that I
holy
can't really
shit.
say because
India is
what happens in those situations as you're just taking it in and it's just
Yeah,
like
man.
whoa.
Like
But
being born and
someone
raised
like Parma
here.
or someone else that's around, they see everything. So,
Yeah, man.
so
Bro,
they'll take it in. For
it's
me, it's hard to
crazy.
take everything in. You know.
Imagine being born in like a foreign country and then being like the Ricky Martin of like
Yeah, man.
Brazil or like something. You're like massive.
But like being born and raised here, like a
It's
lot of people
crazy.
that listen to your music already know you, so they don't show you that love the
here's
way they
different.
do.
You're huge.
When you go to India and
You're
it's
huge.
a whole
I feel like
different.
even here you get it too. Like Sheridan College down the street,
Yeah,
you've
for
done
sure.
a few medlas there.
sure.
Yo, and how many people are at those? Like
Yeah.
thousands.
No, my whole
Like,
area,
sold
like
out.
where
Empty,
Ray Lawson
yeah.
area that I live, like everyone shows mad love.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know what? I love that in your music videos, even like the up and down or the recently the one you could do with Mana. You show the neighborhood and you show the people are coming out and showing the love.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Up and Down was dope, man. You guys went all through Brampton, and you guys had like
That was a
it was
sick
all
video
Brampton-based
too,
people.
man.
That was
Yeah.
really good.
I like
concept.
doing songs more like message related.
Yeah.
If you like, even Agani Below Time was talking about, you know, don't give up, up and down, Vaj Fakirandi,
Yeah.
this one. Like I like those.
So,
yeah.
Vaj Fakirandi actually.
Yeah.
Can you tell us the story about how that happened? How you met Kanhur Garewal?
It's crazy, man, because I think Kanwar Paji was already in Canada a year before that. I think he was on tour or something, and he was already here, and he had already contacted some to get to do a song with us. But I think I wasn't here, the situation, whatever happened. I think he did message, but I was like, what am I going to do with him?
Yeah.
Like he's a Sufi singer, but what can I do? I do Pakada or whatever I'm doing. Like I don't even know what kind of song. Like if he sits in the studio, I don't even know what kind of song I'm gonna say. Like what kind of song are we gonna do? It was just one of those situations. I think we didn't end up doing it. And this is like a year later now. Me, Karan, we're in California shooting a video with Bohemia Paji called Unity. So we're staying at a hotel there. And we're just about to check out. Video's done. We're about to leave. We're checking out. We're parked in front. Put all the luggage in. And I'm sitting in the car. I think Karan was driving. I was in the passenger. And Karan or someone put the window down. They're like, yeah, that's Karan. We're walking out of the same hotel. Like he's walking literally out of the. He's checking out too. And we had no idea. Like, literally the night before we partied in the hotel. So I'm like, I'm thinking about it. Hopefully he didn't hear us. So he's literally walking out of the hotel. And I look up to Karan. I was like, that's Karan.
that's
I'm like,
crazy
oh, shit.
timing,
I'm like,
yo.
I'm like, just put your window up, man. Just put your window up. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm like, I don't even know like what to say to him. He probably doesn't know who I am. I'm like, just let him do his thing. You know, like, let's put your window up. Let's go, right? And then I guess when I'm saying that, he heard me. He was walking towards the car, and he looks at me. And he walks around the car, and he opens my door, and he's like deep, and he opens his arms and gives me a big hug.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he gave me a big hug, and I didn't expect that. I didn't even know he knew who I was, to be honest. Like I thought, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Gave me a big. He's like deep. He's like, where are you going? He's like, Kite challe? I'm like, I'm going back. Like we're leaving. You know, we're checking out. He's like, no. He's like, Aaj jab studio bana. He's like, God met us here. He's like, we're going to the studio today. I'm like, are you serious? Okay. And then I'm like, okay, boom. We called one of my friends had a studio there, JD. We called him like, you haven't even. Can we come to the studio? He's like, boom. Next hour we're in the studio.
Sick.
And he's there. He went in the booth and he just literally I played chords. He went in the booth and he just like, he just sang that.
That's crazy. What about the flight? Did you miss the flight?
Yeah, I think we changed it, to be honest. Yeah, I think we were leaving the city, but I think we were driving somewhere. But he even when the studio asked him like, "What do you want me to do?" He's like, "You make your music how you make it." He's like, "I'm not gonna ask you anything. Whatever you want to do, you do." He's like, "Play the chords. I'm gonna go in the booth." He went in the booth and he just stood there and he just started like singing.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What does that line mean, Baj Fakirani?
Just like the voice of Fakir, Fakir,
It's like a
saint, right?
Saint. Okay.
Yeah.
Like someone who really like.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I get it. I
You
get it.
know.
I know. I got it.
I dropped that at a party once.
Someone that's connected, you know?
Someone who's connected and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
really like, you know.
No, that's not. I ask these questions because I don't know.
So
man.
did he
It's
have
so
the
good.
lyrics made before he played the chords, or he wrote it on the
That was one thing
spot?
that I was really shocked with was because he had nothing written. He says that when he makes a song,
Yeah.
he really does it with the connection. Like he'll go in the booth and he'll play a chord, tell the guy, and he'll just start singing.
God,
and he
that's
says,
crazy.
and he says that whatever comes out of his mouth, if he likes the melody, and then he'll go back and write it.
So from what JJ
Sick.
has like told me many times, like he's like, if there's anybody that can get the greatest vocal or
Yeah.
emotion out of a person when they're singing, he goes Deep's the guy.
Yeah.
So like,
100%.
I just want to like, what's your train of thought?
Like when he's
thought-
engineering kind of thing?
thinking about asses?
That's all good.
So I think that because I was a singer first, like we'll try to sing.
You understand
I
more.
kind of understand what that person is going
Yeah.
through in the booth, because I remember when I was first time I was singing a song in a studio, and Hansman was sitting there recording me. I'll never forget that. I was I was making
Yeah.
beats, and I'm not a singer, right? I never even knew what the vajja was at that time. I started learning after, but he sent me in the booth. He's like, sing this, and go in there. I'm on my headphones. Like even right now, when you have these headphones on, you hear only your voice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of imagine a new person.
Yeah.
It's different.
Right?
It's,
It's a
different
trip.
than singing in your
Yes,
like
you
at
know,
home,
you sing
right?
Jyoti, right? So you know, the first time I had the headphones on, I hear my voice, music is playing in the background. I see a glass, Huntsman sitting there, and there's three other guys that are on the back, and they're just sitting there on the back couch looking at
Staring at you.
me. Right? And I'm
Three guys
singing,
on
I'm
one,
tripping
two,
out,
three.
like like you're tripping out. You don't know.
man.
And on top of that, those guys in the back, they were laughing, right?
Oh.
Like I don't know if they were laughing at me or they're laughing at each other.
You
or
don't know.
Whatever. I'm just sitting there.
But
I'm
you
like,
think
yo,
they're
these
laughing
guys
at
are
you.
Laughing at me, yo. Like, oh my god, right? So it's just that whole experience. I try to make it as comfortable as I can with any artist. So even if it's a new singer that comes to the
Yeah.
studio to do a song with me, even right from the get go when they walk in,
They're
try
comfortable.
I try to make it. I crack jokes. I try to make it where they're already comfortable.
Yeah.
He
And-
told me in India when he went there, he goes when you went to go record a few songs in India too,
Yeah.
and he's at that time, I don't know what year that was, but he's like, and when you're about to sing in India and there's a producer, an engineer, everyone's sitting there and you're not fully on key, they don't give a shit about autotune at that time. If you're not 100% on, they're like, what the fuck is this garbage? Get the hell out of my
Yeah,
studio.
so when
Really?
you're singing in India, they don't auto tune nothing. It's literally
Yeah.
a click. Sometimes
And-
there's no music. It's just a click.
Yeah.
You have to
Crazy.
sing to it. You have to sing to
And
it.
it's like four desis there, they hit a bade paji chala kya jo.
Yeah, Paricha.
Yeah, the studios they have all that, so it's a different experience, right? You have to literally be on each key.
Key.
So that whole experience was crazy and helped me when now I'm making music as a producer. That okay, now how can I get the best of vocals from this guy that's never made a song in his life? You know, you have to make him feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You have to be in the studio and be like, don't worry, it's okay if you mess up. I say that it's okay if you mess up. We'll do 10 more times, no problem. Just keep going.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
that's crazy.
And like as a vocalist, that's a big thing. That's something JJ does too. Is
Yeah.
even when you're not doing great, getting positive feedback gives you that confidence.
Energy.
It
When
gives
the
you
guy-
energy.
when the guy-
Whereas like you
when the
see
guy-
like the lamu or you see
When the
someone
guy's like this,
laughing.
like
You see someone laughing, or you
Nah.
see someone be like, "Yo, like what the fuck
It
are you
makes you
doing?"
go down,
It
right?
makes
Like-
you feel like shit, and then you're done for the day. You can't sing anymore.
No, it's dope, man. I've seen you guys actually in the studio where you don't even go in the booth sometimes. You just have the mic sitting on the couch.
That's
and
90% of what he does.
Yeah, how does that work? Do you guys just kind of figure out like the vibe of the song and then you go in and record it actually later? Or can it all happen from sitting on the couch?
So like the way I make music is we'll have a vibe. It could be anything, a drum, chord, or anything, and then we'll usually write the song on that like right away. So we'll write the song, the composition, make it there on like a mic like this, and then once the vibe is done, then we finalize the music and record final vocals after.
Nice. Have you ever written a song that you've sung yourself?
I don't write, but I'm pretty much behind all the topics and
Ideas? Okay.
ideas. Like I'll tell that I want this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'll give them a few English words and to throw in the mix.
What's-
you know?
What's your favorite song that you've ever done?
Oh shit. My favorite song. I think I did this as a hobby first, and the first song that changed my life to make this where money started coming in and made this more of like something maybe that I could do full time was I think it was Kali Kamero, after Kali Kamero.
Sick.
Was after Kali Kamero, so I really think that's one of my favorite songs, or I'm blessed to have that song, because after that it was like back to back nonstop.
Yeah.
It still
kind
gets
of-
played. I'm playing it. I mean, I'm not DJing right now, but
I was gonna ask more on your vocals wise because I wanted to.
Yeah,
hear
okay,
you.
so that's as a producer, but as a singer, shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we have you sing shit on the Ali Ali?
Yeah.
That's why I want to hear you sing something.
I don't even remember that song. That's so
we can do it later after a couple more pegs, no problem. We got to congratulate you, Deep, on your recent album, Down to Earth. Awesome album, man.
I love that album.
Very good body of
I
work.
love that
Yeah,
album.
I swear I was saying, I think to JJ before it dropped, I was like, yo man, why are people not dropping albums? Because in my opinion, when you drop an album, it's like leaving a legacy. It's a piece of work that you put together.
Yeah.
You know, in a day and age where everybody's dropping singles, including yourself, it was all singles for a while. What was the idea behind making the album?
I always wanted to do an album because the last album was Into Deep, was Surrender.
Was that 9 years before or something
Yeah,
like that?
it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Man, about 7 years probably. so.
7 years ago, yeah.
And I wanted to do an album, especially with people that I didn't work with before, like Divine was on the album.
Yeah.
Raja,
I was telling you
yeah.
about that song, Bombay to
Yeah,
Punjab. is a big one, yeah.
Raja Kumari
Yeah.
was on the album. Bohemia Paji was on the album. Karan was on the album. Like it was just a bunch of people that I wanted to work with on as a singer, as me as a singer. Because it's different when you're producing, but sometimes you want to, you know.
Yeah, have some fun.
Yeah,
Just sing,
so that album was just fun, man, and just, I think everybody was involved in the album,
Yo,
making the album.
tell me about the Bombay to Punjab video shoot, because when I seen that video, as like a fan of the music, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, how was it just like that? The locations, the shots, like everything was just like next level.
Was that
Like, it's
real?
like-
I thought it was green
Yo,
screen.
it was
bro.
real. It's real, bro.
Are you serious?
That's what I mean. When I seen the video, I was like, yo, I haven't seen this kind of quality in a Punjabi music video ever.
Crazy, man. To be honest, man, for some reason with my music, I don't know why it always works that way, but every time the last song that I make on an album is for some reason always the one that people like. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Bombay to Punjab was the last song I made on the album. I literally finished the whole album before I went to India.
Yeah.
And when I was there, for some reason the song that I was supposed to send to Divine didn't end up working out. And last minute we had to figure out a new song.
Yeah.
And we were in the studio, me and Karan, and Manna was sitting in the studio, and I'm like to Manna, I'm like, remember those drums? Is Addictive drums?
Addictive, yeah.
Truth hurts. Yeah.
Like those drums. I'm like, I always wanted to make a song on that, and I'm like, I think that should be the vibe of the song. And Manna's like, all right, I got you. He puts on his headphones. He just makes the drum. He makes the drums literally 2 minutes. Sends it to the recorder that's on the studio. He loads it up. The drums are done. Right.
So he remade those by himself.
So he just made the drums right there.
Oh,
Boom.
shit, that's dope.
Right?
Yeah.
Made the drums. The recorders put them up in the studio, and in that studio, I think
This is in India.
this is in India, right? We're sitting there, and in the same studio, a guy was leaving the studio. A guitarist was leaving the studio. So he had finished his session with somebody else, and he was just leaving. And I told the guy, I'm like, yo, why don't you just call him in? I have something for him. Let's see what he can do. So he came back in the studio, literally went and heard the drums, and I showed him the Addictive song. I'm like, this is the kind of vibe I want. He goes in the booth and literally plays that intro, that if you can play that piece in the starting.
That's so sick.
This piece right here.
that Spanish guitar vibe.
Yeah.
Like, he literally just played that right there.
So sick.
Was it the guy with the mustache?
He was a
The
Sardar.
older guy? Oh, Sardar guy?
That's
I know who you're
crazy.
talking
So
about.
he literally played this right here. As soon as he played that, I'm like, man, this is
Yeah, and then the beat
And
drops.
then on top of the drum,
Yeah.
he started playing that. I'm like, okay, crazy. Karan's sitting there. He looks at me. He's like, okay, I'm gonna he started doing that, like whatever he was doing in the mouth. And he I'm like, that sounds crazy. Yo.
Yo, tell me you
I
guys
ain't gonna lie,
recorded this.
this
yo.
song-
I wish we did it.
Yeah.
He started doing that.
Fire lyrics, bro.
Yeah,
the
he
lyrics
started.
are
He
fire.
just did that and. He wrote it down. He's like, okay, I got you deep. He wrote the first verse in literally half an hour. First verse done. I'm in the booth recording it. While I'm recording the first verse, he writes the second verse. Recorded that, and then he's like, Deep, I gotta go. And then he went, and then he wrote the third verse the next day, and I recorded the next verse. That song was done.
Bro, that song, that
That's
second verse
crazy.
that second verse is so far with like LA to Bali. If
Yeah.
I ever get married, just because of this song, that my honeymoon will be in LA then Bali.
When the song was made, Mani, to be honest, like it's out of my comfort zone, so I was
It's so different.
50-50 on the song. I'm like, I don't really know I don't know how to feel with the song because I'm talking about like things that I don't really talk about, and everyone around me was just like, shut up and just let's release it, right? Sent it to Divine. Divine
Sick.
loved it right away. Boom, he dropped his verse on it, flew down, did the video, and it just happened so quick.
This, Dress Match, and Subteak are my
Yeah.
favorite songs off
Dress
that
Match is
album.
my favorite
Yeah,
song.
it's my
but
favorite.
I
hands
love
down
those
on the
songs,
album.
man.
Yeah, man. The way that you got, what's the girl's name on the track?
Galage.
The way that I don't know if you did it or she did it herself, but her vibe on the song is just like she has an attitude. You can hear it in
Yeah.
her voice. It's so dope, man.
Yeah.
Did you guys record it together? Or did she send it
So
to you?
I recorded my vocals and
Uh-huh.
then we sent it to her and then she recorded.
And then
hers.
she recorded
She's
hers.
really good. Like even our relationship with her, like she's huge now, right? But originally when her first song was the one that I did with Sidhu G Wagon.
Mhm.
She literally back to back after that. Like no one was dropping duets anymore.
Yeah.
As soon as we did Sidhu's G Wagon song, you guys probably heard it.
Yeah, yeah.
That came out with her on it. Boom. Then we did Scratch.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Right, we did Scratch, and then we did after Scratch. What song was it? Underestimate. Underestimate. Then we did that with her. And this right away she got nonstop
Oh, she got
She got nonstop
She blew up after
bangers after that with RNA, all these songs.
Speaking of G-Wagon,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge track. I mean, how did that start?
That was Sidhu's first song.
You had
Yeah.
Agyanio, he
That-
below Tam.
Yeah,
first,
so while I was making that song, Sidhu literally was like to me, he's like, Deep, because I had songs Agani Time came out already with that phrase in it. So he's like, I literally made this song for you, Deep. He's like, I want you to hear these lines. And me and Parma were sitting there and he showed us the song. And we're like, okay, cool, we like the song, you know.
Yeah.
We did the song, and we were working on his song at the time. So the way we met Sidhu was a guy named Harry Preet Singh is a video director from Toronto. And Sidhu used to work for him at video shoots.
Okay.
So no one really knows this. So
That's
Sidhu
crazy.
was at video shoots, like helping with the camera, setting up lights and all that stuff for him.
Oh, okay.
Because he wanted to get in the music industry, so I guess that was the first guy he went to.
Yeah.
And Harry was really close with us, like he was close with all of us.
Harry
you know?
Jordan?
No, Harry Singh and Preet Singh. Harry Singh and Preet Singh. So Harry was like, you know, I have this guy. He's like, he's with me. He's like, I want you to do this song for me. I'm trying to say. So we had a good relationship. We're like, no problem, we got you. We'll make you the song, but we'll give it to you when we can because we're really busy. We had back-to-back songs coming out, and we're like, we'll make the song for you, no problem. You know, you're a boy. What friends do, we'll do it for you. But when we can do it, we'll do it for you, and we'll finish it when we can.
Yeah.
So Sidhu came to the studio. He recorded the song. He left. We went to India. 2 months, 3 months went by. We were busy doing other projects, and the song had leaked. I think the song had leaked, and it started going.
The final version?
Whatever version was that, it got leaked, right? And I guess Sidhu started like, yo, the song is blowing up. People are liking it, calling us like, please finish the song, blah blah. We finished the song next day. We sent it to them and it blew up, man. It was literally that's what happened.
There's a lot of that trails behind your guys' name with leaked songs. How much of that is actually true that, you know, sometimes you leak it for advantage to maybe hear if the song is going to blow up? You know, JJ explained to me sometimes artists will do it if they don't know if they want to make a video for it or not or put money behind it, so they'll get a feel of the track. Well, how was that with, I know, Ellie and Sidhu both said
we make
that.
a song, right?
Yeah.
If say JJ produced it and I'm the singer on it, who has it? Me and him have it. No one else
Yeah.
has it. So obviously it came from either him or me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It's not rocket science.
100%.
Blowing shots right now.
Why don't you take that in?
So basically, J-Statik leaks all the songs.
I'm the secret leaker.
No,
That's me.
I just.
He's gonna call his lawyer, guys.
I'm giving an example, right? So
We finally figured it out, man. We needed you.
I just use that example. So two people have it, right? So either his friend circle has it or my friend circle has it. Because obviously, when you make music, you wanna. I'll send it to
Show your
Parma.
friend,
We send it to each other, our friends that
Yeah.
So there has to be a leak somewhere. That's how songs get leaked, pretty much.
Okay.
So
My theory is it's always a friend circle.
To be us, none of our songs have gotten leaked.
No R&B songs have ever gotten
Yeah, no, none of our songs have gotten leaked. They've only gotten leaked for songs that we've done for people.
That's true. And even after Sidhu stopped working with you guys, his songs have continued to get leaked. So, I mean, if he's going to point the finger at you guys, I don't see that correlation.
I think at that time there was some news article in India came out of some guys like Deep leaked all of Sidhu's
That was
songs.
recent, no? A couple weeks ago.
It was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Some guy said that in an interview.
But why would you?
So someone said that, and my response to that, I never gave a response. My response to that, I only did one song with him.
Yeah.
I only did one song with him, and even that song got leaked. Where did that come from? Obviously, and his songs continue to leak. You know what I'm
Till
trying
this
to say?
day.
Till this
Every
day.
song.
And I don't have those songs. I never did those songs that got leaked. So who's this guy saying that I leaked the song? You know what I'm trying to say?
In the media, a lot of it is always, I guess, focused on Karan versus Sidhu, Karan versus Sidhu versus Karan, whatever. They go back and forth. Is it true that a lot of that stemmed from you and Sidhu, and then Karan kind of got into it later, or was it between them?
We have no issue with anybody. It's more of a situation where Sidhu said something when he was chilling with his boys, and someone had recorded that.
Oh.
And that guy sent to Karan and them, and that's when the whole situation started. You know what I'm trying to say? But I'm not really close with Sidhu. I only did one song with him. So obviously I'm gonna be with people that I'm more close with.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
Of course, yeah. You got to choose a side.
So
right?
the people, so the people that are with us, we're gonna be holding them down. You know what I'm trying to say?
100%. Yeah, you got it right.
It's nothing like that. We have there's no issue with anybody.
It's just
We make
industry.
music with everybody. I think the public just made it a lot more bigger than it.
We're bored, man. We're sitting on our
Yeah.
phones. We need some sort of
Public made it
entertainment,
a
right?
lot more bigger than it was, and
People are so bored.
Yeah.
I've gone to parties and people are like, Sidhu, Musa, Sidhu. I'm like, Sidhu Karan. I'm like, yeah, but do you know either of them?
Did you when you worked
Oh,
with,
Sidhu da gana nahi lona.
Sidhu Karan. I'm like, do you know either of them? No. Okay, then fuck off.
when you worked with Sidhu, did you see the possibility of that talent back then, or did you see him blowing up, or was it just a regular singer to you?
well, for sure, because he gave me the song Agani Bilutam, right? Like my songs, he listened to the Agani Bilutam and other songs that came out, and he liked that line, and he gave me the song. So obviously, I liked his lyrics, the way he wrote it,
Yeah.
and that's why I sang the song.
Mm-hmm.
Because
sick
think about it,
track.
like my first song after all these songs that I produced was Agani Bilutam that he wrote.
Yeah.
That was because he was in our life at that time, and he gave me the song. He's like, I really want you to sing this as a fan. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And no one knew Sidhu at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no problem. I really like the lyrics. We'll do it. You know,
took him
I always
to the
support
Sheridan
new,
show with
I
you,
always
too.
support. Yeah, I always support new talent. Even when we were performing at the Sheridan show, there's a lot of videos out. You know, we brought him on stage. The whole RMG camp brought him on stage. You know, we were like, you know, this guy wrote the song. He's a great talent. Support him. I said that. All that stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? Because we
Yeah.
support new talent.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, as a Bhangra fan and somebody that DJing and all that keeps up with the Bhangra industry, I can say that Deep, you've introduced Sidhu, and not only Sidhu, you've introduced so many artists I've never heard of.
Yeah.
You know, it's because of who you've brought into the industry, who
100%.
you've put forward, and
Even guys like Amrit Maan. Like Amrit Maan had a
Yeah.
couple of big tracks before
Not
he
in
started,
Takal-
but-
yeah.
but
The
then
next
it
level.
became like not urban, but like it's like a whole different sound. It wasn't a
Yeah.
Desi sound with those kind of lyrics. It was like hip hop
Yeah.
and
And like-
Desi ass lyrics. That's different.
I can accredit that to coming back from not you, like your RMG camp, everybody, like it's just come through your guys' pipeline of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I think we've been blessed that a lot of people work with big artists, and they get their name doing with big artists. I think our catalog of artists and singers that we've worked on, more hits, singers, songs have been with new artists.
Yeah.
100%.
So any new artists that we've launched or done things with, they've become more of a household name than bigger artists that we worked with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
Like
I
right
wa-
now,
I wanna hear
Right
Deep
now we're
sing
working on
something,
we're
you know.
working on a
No,
song.
we will.
We're working on a song with Yad. I don't know if you guys heard him. His song Wrinkle just came
It's
out.
all over TikTok.
He's the next guy up, and I'm telling you, man, he's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy soon. Watch.
Yeah.
We got to shout out, what's his name? I totally lost me. We gotta shoot his video soon. He did some music with Deep as well.
Monu.
Monu, oh my God, I forgot his name. Monu, yeah. Mr. Monu. He's dope too, man. Good friend of ours for a long time. He said he worked with you, so I told him I gotta give him a shout out too, man. I'm excited to hear these young guys make new music and come out.
We're more excited to work with new artists, to be honest. Like new artists, seeing them grow and do all, it's amazing.
Even like the production, you have Manna, you have Jay. So like from outside looking at it, you're focusing on their brands too. They both dropped albums. So what's that like? Like, are you mentoring these guys? Like, how's that working out for you?
I feel like
like Manna's what, 15, 16?
Yeah.
How old are you, Manna? 17? How old are you?
Yo, first of all, pick up Manna music.
Manna music,
Yo, Shake was huge.
Yo, hold on. Manna's got a drink in his hand. What's going on? Yo, no, I'm kidding.
We don't check ID on the podcast. Only temperatures.
He's saying it very slow. He's like 17.
He just turned 11.
He's 17.
Yeah. 17? It's okay. We don't check ID. Only temperature. It's all good.
So the way I look,
He's the deep
yeah. So the way I look at things is when I was growing up, like I was making music, there's nobody here to help, right? So now Parma, all of us, we have a foundation where we can give opportunities to people that can make their talents go even bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? That being said, with me, and I think you asked about the production about me, I look at it more of a bigger picture. I know the scenario of the producer has always been like, music, that he's a music director, that he should do everything himself and he should do all that stuff or whatever the situation. But I look at it differently. Now I've done all that. I've made music. I've done all that stuff. I've been making music. Like I have an ear for it now. Now I might not be able to be in the studio for 13, 14 hours because I have a family, but I still know what I want to do. You know what I'm trying to say? So, team is very, very big. So I'm able to do that. I could tell Manna, be like, Manna, do this because I want it like this. And Manna will do it, have it done, but it's still my idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's still what I'm telling him to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So they need help. We're here for them. They want us to help.
learning.
You like the Rodney Jerk? What's that guy? What's that? The guy that did Michael Jackson's album. Quincy Jones.
Exactly.
Jones,
Yeah, the Quincy
just
Jones.
recently, I just saw a DJ Khaled interview. I think the news guy just asked him the same question. He's like, so you don't really make music. You have producers to do that for you, all the stuff. And DJ Khaled's response, bro, he's like, I've been making music for 20 years.
Yeah.
He's like, where were you when I had the MPC in my garage? He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, I know how to do everything. Don't get it wrong. I can sit there and do it. But he's like, do I want to do it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to
That's
say?
what
He's
it
like,
is.
He's like, I don't need to do it anymore. I have the ear for music. He's like, I have a team that can do it for me. You know what I'm trying to say? I have a team and they all get credit. Like right now, if I was one of those guys that made music, but I want to hide, no, he's not allowed. No.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves their credit. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Everyone has put something and everyone deserves their credit.
On that note, I mean, I know you had this controversy. I want you to clear it up for everybody. Back in 2017, there was a track that came out, and there was a guy, I guess he makes beats or whatever. He said that you took his beat and you didn't give permission. I mean, in your fairness, from what I read, is that you did actually reach out to him. He didn't reply. Yeah. Can you tell us more about that and what happened with that whole situation?
So around that time when it was a Nimrod Kera song called Designer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what happened was around that time, like I said, I was back-to-back songs. Every day we're in the studio sessions. So there comes a point where you're in the studio where you kind of lose creativity for a little bit. You need to take a break from music. And when you're making non-stop music in the studio, you need to listen to more music to get more creative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Inspired by something, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys make music, you guys can
100%.
understand what I'm trying to say. So YouTube is a tool for you to listen to other music out there. So boom, I found the song, the beat by, I think his name is Zurich or something like that. I really like the vibe of the song, and I'm like, I really like how this person has created this song, and I want to make the same thing but do it for the Indian industry. Mm-hmm. So what I really did was follow the same pattern. Got Nimrod I made the composition on the song. Got Nimrod to do that. Happy wrote the lyrics, and we just remade that whole vibe. And it happens in music all the time. A lot of big hit songs have been remade,
like recomposed.
A lot of songs have been. I don't know if you know Bollywood. 80% of Bollywood has been influenced by Arabic music or other Middle Eastern music, and they just literally take the same thing.
Even look at Ed Sheeran. Guys like these are being sued by Marvin Gaye's family because they're copying the drum pattern or the bass lines from these guys' songs. But you gotta take inspiration from somewhere.
So all these inspirations have all the Bollywood music is done like that. I'm not saying that that is, you should give credit to where it's due, but sometimes you do make a mistake, and I made a mistake that maybe I didn't give him credit, and I did that, which I should have. But I still don't think it's a wrong thing. You should be able to. Hip hop is all based off sampling.
100%.
People get melody of some old song, cut it up, make a whole new beat out of it,
Exactly.
and it's the biggest song that came out. No one says. I think in Punjabi music industry, you guys should do an episode or something like that, break it down of sampling and all that stuff, because a lot of people in India still don't know that it's. The thing is they're not allowed to do it, or the thing
It's
is
not
like,
even-
they call it stealing. You know, what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say?
sampling and inspiration, they're both the exact same thing.
Inspiration is huge, man. We all listen to music. So if you make music and you go and you're like, yo, I heard this and I want to use this, there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Right?
But sampling for sure. Like if hip hop is based from sampling, you know, like
100%.
when back in the day when they used to do it off records, they just used to chop up songs and
Yeah.
make a new beat out of it and rap over it, right?
Exactly.
So that's how the whole community is. And someone who's mixing up the East and West, obviously you're gonna do that, you know.
Exactly.
So
So coming back to that song, that was just a song that I really liked the beat, and I wanted to remade it, and I guess that guy, he's like, he put it out there, and there was a controversy about that. But to be honest, like, it didn't really, like, I even messaged the guy. I said, my bad. We'll put your credit. We put his credit at the
Yeah.
bottom of the song.
Yeah. Also, you did reach out
Yeah,
to him. You guys had a
we
conversation.
we put the credit back. It's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Whoever needs the credit, they get the credit. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, that's
But,
dope. No, that takes a real man to admit that, okay, fine, I did make a mistake, but we made it right, and you move forward from
Sure,
that, right?
sure.
Because I know
We-
everybody
our-
came out of the woodwork saying, oh, this song is copied. Like, they basically were trying to discredit your whole career
Yeah.
based on that one
But it's
incident,
also-
you know?
Like even me, sorry to cut you out. Like even me, listen to music since I can remember as a kid, listening to music, everything had a hip hop beat on it.
Yeah.
A beat that's already out. Like RDB back in the day, every song they did was a beat by somebody else in the club.
Yeah.
Like it was everything that I heard was done by somebody else.
Well, look at the top songs right now, AP Dylan and Gurinder.
It's-
Every song is a sample of a hip hop beat. Every
But-
single one that they dropped, you know?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
Even taking Pop Smoke's album, like influence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
That's huge.
Genuine. whatever.
Yo,
Everybody
So,
does
so
it.
I-
Fabulous,
I'll
50
take,
Cent.
I'll take creative ideas from anywhere I can get, you know?
Yeah.
So sometimes, like for example, the designer situation where maybe what I do look back on is maybe I should have just took a little bit more time and changed it up a little bit more just so it doesn't look exactly
But like the
same.
problem also
Right?
is now people are so empowered you're able to hear them directly.
Exactly.
Someone sitting in the pen
it's cancel culture.
is able to comment
Yeah.
and it goes directly to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone's able to put in their opinion.
Everybody has
and then you get
it's
to hear
cancel
everyone
culture.
else.
They're so quick to jump on things and say,
horrible.
"Yo, this." But what I feel like is if you're pulling an idea from somebody, it's at the end of the day, like maybe his beat was there on YouTube or not, but like his beat wasn't doing anything for however long it was on YouTube. Once you took it and took the ideas from it and then remade it and made it into something, that's when it became popping.
Yeah.
Before that, there's no life to your beat. So like you should appreciate not only is he putting you on a pedestal, he's also making you look bigger than what it is.
Yo, man, he hates this guy, whoever he is.
No,
bro.
I'm just
I
saying,
felt
yo,
the anger in his
so
voice.
many people were jumping on AP
Yeah,
Dillon
but-
and these guys like, yo, these guys
There's a
are
lot-
sampling
even-
hip hop.
Even that time when a
Yeah.
lot of people were messaging me.
Don't listen
and-
to it
and
then,
everyone's
right?
like, "Oh, copy, steal, copy." Like, a lot of people. Even that time, like me and Parma sat down. We had the situation. Even he was like, because Parma's been there through all my ups and downs. Parma has seen what I've gone through. So he's been in the room with me when I'm really stressed out, sitting there like.
Yeah.
I
Trying to
should've
make
done that.
oh yeah.
And then he'll be like, okay, how can we do? You know what I'm trying to say? So he's really guided me mentally in situations where I've learned to maybe
Get-
it's not a big deal.
Yeah, you get
You know
that
what I'm trying
second
to say?
opinion. Of,
Yeah. So
Yo, shout out Minister Music. We got him on the camera finally too, bro.
He's usually behind the camera.
Cheers.
Yo, Parma's intro and Snakes.
No, sometimes it takes that second person to be like, no, you're on the right
Yeah,
path.
so
Keep
even that
moving
time,
forward, right?
think about the momentum that I was getting,
Yeah.
and then boom, all of a sudden, everyone's like, "Yo, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Copy." And then at that time, I was like, "Man," but then I put that post up. I'm like, "What about the other 100 songs that I did?"
Mhm.
Like,
Well, that's what I mean. They
what
try to
about-
discredit everything that you did based on
what
the
about
ones
the
you
other
wrote,
100
right?
songs that I did? You know,
Yeah.
So-
Somebody dropped a track where a Tupac beat was just literally on top of Tupac beat. Nobody said anything to that person.
Well, I
What's
wanted to
going on?
ask you because even on your album, you got a sample of Tupac's voice. How does that work? Do you have to clear that, or can you use that and it doesn't get flagged? Or
So well, even recently, like all the new music that people are dropping,
Mhm.
that I've heard, a lot of samples are being used by Tupac, Biggie, and all that stuff.
yeah,
Legally, like I even asked the lawyer about this. Legally, you are not allowed to use those.
no,
Okay.
you have to get it cleared, right?
Anything you
Yeah.
do, you should have get it cleared. But all these producers in India, no, it's not wrong. It's a style right now, but depends on how big that song gets. So, like for example, Punjab Munde to Bach Kidding, look how big that song got, right? Once a song gets that big, then 100% those guys are coming after.
Yeah.
Right.
If it doesn't hit their radar, they don't care.
Like
Basically,
very small.
Yeah.
That's why he couldn't come out with that track for so long either. By the way, because he had to get. That's what this album's called, licensed. He had to legalized. Sorry, because he had to get it all legalized. He had to get the whole thing passed. I think it took forever for him.
So like all these songs that come out now that I hear with like Tupac's voice and like yo Tupac, like it sounds good, but I just when that song really is
like 10 years from now,
if that song
Geeta Zeldar Nan has a whole verse of Biggie.
Yeah, if a song really blows up, like right now, it's to a certain a market where maybe those guys haven't really heard it.
Yeah.
But when it gets big, huge, like that's obviously everybody wants.
Would you lose all your YouTube credit?
They would
for
own your song pretty much.
Yeah.
They would take those rights. So
They'll take everything.
So I would suggest not using those things and make your own.
Yeah.
But if you are, then at least.
So how does that work? Like if you recreate it, but it sounds like 1-to-1. So like Manny Sandhu just did the Majal thing where he recreated.
If that blows up to another level, they are screwed.
They're fucked, right?
100%. You
Which
cannot.
song is that from?
But he did replay the
Fat
whole
Joe.
thing.
Fat Joe.
You cannot take a composition from, even if Deep sings a composition from like a Hindi Bollywood song, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If he takes it and it blows up to another level, if he doesn't switch it up enough where the owners believe that it's switched up enough, they can come after him in 5 seconds.
That's
It's
the thing
done.
that happened with. So that's what I was saying with Ed Sheeran and Marvin Gaye. There's a Marvin Gaye song where Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud uses the same bass line and drum pattern, and they're like, yo, we're suing you.
100%.
Millions of dollars.
If they want to, they can.
Millions.
So,
They're like the same
But
drum
now
pattern and bass line.
international law, like kind of like that's all.
But so how
we
does
have we have a lawyer
now
here. so
international
he can tell
law
you.
that probably fucks it all up too, right?
What's more valuable as an artist, to have that song on there and get the credit for that, or the show money?
Sorry, ask again.
Or is the song more valuable to you to have it out there, get the credit, get the royalties from that, or would you rather blow up and then get shows and get show money from it?
I think as a producer, your songs, the royalties really matters. But for a singer, I think his shows really matter. So
it depends.
So it
what
depends
side
on
you're
what
on.
situation.
Yeah.
But for sure, your royalties do matter, man. Let's say that's your
That's
music
your,
that you're putting out for,
Yep.
and people are gonna hear for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
wanna make
you
money
want
off
that
you know?
coming in
Yeah.
forever.
Look at Juice WRLD, right?
Yeah.
He sampled Sting.
Yeah.
He made $0 off that, but his career blew up.
who was that? Sorry.
Can we
We're
get him
gonna
to
mic him.
speak in a
over
mic?
No, I heard him. He said Juice WRLD made an album and he made a record where he sampled Sting and yeah.
And that song, I forget what, Lucid Dreams.
Yeah.
That made his career. He made $0 off that song.
Oh, wow.
But then he drops an album after that. And he's blessed.
So it's
I
kind
never
of
knew
like what
that.
Deep's saying. What side of the spectrum are
So,
you
so
on?
what,
right?
what do you want to do? You want to like you could look at these using old hit song and dropping a song on it will help you for sure help your momentum. People will know who you are because you just dropped a big track with a old beat on it. But in the long term of things, you're gonna kind of get messed up because you won't be able to collect that.
Yep.
Yeah, you need a pension at the end of the day. You can't perform forever or you keep making music forever.
Even that's
right?
why like
Yeah.
a lot of hip hop guys, I don't know if to really do it. They should put out mixtapes, right? So
Yeah.
it
They
was
don't
like
care.
over beats, and it's
Yes,
just like
just to get their momentum,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
something.
people can hear.
Can we get Deep to sing something?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do
Yo,
that.
definitely.
I got
really want to hear Deep sing.
I do,
something.
man. I fucking love
Yo,
hearing
battle
you
him
sing.
right now,
He's
guy.
only got 200
No, it's
songs.
not
over.
about-
106 in Park, guy. Fucking fire in the
hear him
booth. Go
sing.
battle him right now.
Shit on Ari.
Deep, I saw you post a picture of your young self at your first ever video shoot just a few days ago.
Yeah.
If you were to go back and talk to that young Deep Jandu and give him a piece of advice getting into the music industry, what would you say to him?
I would say that not to trust too many people.
That's a big one, eh?
Yeah.
That's 100%.
Sone sap baliye.
Because like the thing is like I could probably speak for all of us is because we're I think born here and all that stuff, we let things slide a little bit more than you're supposed to, and this industry is very very cutthroat.
Yeah.
People will do
What benefits
will
stuff?
say things to make it seem like it's something else, but it's not really that. And you just play along, and you think that maybe they are, it is what it is, right? But I think if I was to go back, I would really, me and Parma just having this conversation a couple of days ago, I would really just like change things and be more to myself and not be so open with everybody. You know, like if someone's sitting there start talking about family, like I should just keep it to myself and just do business when business is to be done, not to get other things involved. You know.
to
I
get
think that's
personal with
that's
everyone.
hard though for people like
the
us.
thing is with me is I
where
get
we
personal
grow
with
up.
everybody.
Yeah.
Like I really open up to the person. And I
But
start
like down
trusting
the
them.
road, you don't know.
And then 5 years from later, they mess me up. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like, if I was to go back, I would not be so open with everybody.
Yeah.
But even that's why you
wanna-
have someone like Pharma too, right? Like he knows how to deal with those kind of people. Like if we're going to India, you know, like me and JJ when we used to go, we don't even want to speak Punjabi to anybody, right? So like, you have somebody there that knows how to deal with everybody, and I'm sure that's when things changed for you when he started dealing with all that.
Exactly.
You know, on your level for RMG, and it's like, yo, he's a business, and you just got to focus on the music.
Because one person can't do everything, man. 1 person
100%.
can't do everything. Sometimes I start doing everything and Farmer gets upset, but he's focused on being an artist. You definitely need somebody else doing all. You can't handle everything yourself, man. You need to just focus on doing what you need to do. You know.
Yep.
And Parma's been a friend before this, so like don't think that he's just like some guy.
I'm waiting for Parma's album still, bro. I was in the studio. We were sitting there, and he just somebody's singing, and I was like, oh, maybe Deep singing or playing something. I look over, it's Parma singing. I was like, bro, you sing.
He is crazy with the
R&B.
vajja. He's crazy with the vajja and the tabla, everything. Like
That's dope, man.
I don't even know how to play tabla. He knows how to play everything.
No, let's
So
wait
if
for
I'm
it,
in the
man.
studio,
Parma's album next
sometimes
up.
I'm in the studio and I need help with a situation, I'll ask him.
That's
'Cause
dope.
he has more music knowledge than I'm trying to say than anybody. You know what I mean?
Even like the wording, he understands more, right?
Exactly.
We're gonna get to Deep Jandu dropping a couple
Bars.
Yeah, that coming soon too. Deep, we gotta thank you, man. Just taking the time out to have this conversation with us. You didn't back down. There's a lot of artists who come in here. We ask a lot of questions, and then behind the scenes, they don't want certain things put in the interview, this and that. You answered every question up front, honest, and I really appreciate that, man, because it makes my job a lot easier. We had fun, man. We did a lot of talking. We got to give you the mic now. Tell us more about RMG, what's going on, what's coming out, what can we expect to see from you guys. 2020, it's been a fucked up year, but what can we see from the Punjabi industry and Punjabi music from you guys?
First, I want to say thank you to everybody for having me. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Love you, truck parking.
I think as an artist and being in the music for so long, we've all grown. I think now we've all reached a point where, at least us, reached a point that we want to just focus on our own people. Before I was doing music with everybody, every artist, and launching them and doing other people. But in our own circle, we have a whole bunch of talent that I didn't really focus on, or we didn't focus on, or so the next year, 2 years, we just want to focus on RMG talent. So people that we have with us in our circle, just work on them. Like right now, you just finished Shiv's album. Shivji's album's coming out.
Yeah. Shout out Shiv, he's
Shiv,
here too.
yeah,
In the
yeah.
studio.
It's crazy, man.
Is Minister ever gonna sing a song too, bro? He's like,
never
find
know,
the
never
video.
So Shiv, his album is crazy. It's done. But we're gonna fly to Mexico in the next 10 days to shoot his video.
That's dope.
crazy. Like it.
Yeah.
So he
does mostly hip hop, right?
So he did hip hop before, but now this album is fusion
Okay.
between Punjabi and English.
Nice.
So hopefully,
Something a little
by the grace of
different,
God,
yeah.
it goes good. His album's done. Manna Music, you guys already know. He did Shake with Karan Angela. He just did my new song, Bade Aaye Bade Gaye. He's working on his whole bunch of his own music.
Nice.
A lot of new artists have Holly and Manna to do music from him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretty much his career is launched.
Yeah.
We got Minister Music. Minister Music is
Man of
Many
many talents.
Mr. Music is a man of many talents.
Yeah.
He's like I said, he's always been in my life from the starting with my career. I think for the past year and a half, he's finally focused on himself. He's always helped a lot of people. He's always helped. For me, seeing him, he's always been behind a lot of people, giving them ideas, giving them things to do. But he's never really focused on himself. I think now, for the past year and a half, he's just focusing on himself.
That's dope.
He makes music. He makes videos. So even my last video, he shot it. He's really like I think molding his craft and becoming the artist that he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Minister Music. He's dropping back-to-back music.
Yeah, shout out, man.
Parma Music. I would like Parma.
Album coming soon.
I would like Parma to just come here for just 1 second, just to say a few words.
Absolutely.
Because
Parma, come on.
the thing is, I'm always in the camera. People see me, all that stuff, but people don't really get to see the people that are behind the people that are on camera. So I've done like for the past, I did a few interviews, but he's never really. I just wanted to say a few words, just ask him a couple questions, just so people can see his face and
Let's
see
go.
what he does.
Parma, reach.
Come, Parma.
Bhai.
No, he's right here. You can stay. You can stay.
You stay.
Come.
Speech.
DJ M and Minister. No, come, sit down. Don't worry. Sit, Parma. Don't worry.
Sit.
We need
You
you.
can just
Bro.
sit for a minute. Sit.
Don't be shy. You're already the camera.
How about start with the intro from Sapa?
The real reason DJ M got up, he wants to go Jaeger bombs over there with Minister.
The crazy thing is, he's always forcing me to do it. Now he's doing it.
Welcome, Parma. Welcome, man. Thank you for coming on. Like I said during the show, I know for a fact what you bring to the table with RMG, and the fact that anything that has to do on the business side of things, you take care of. Being a part of RMG for as long as you've had, from the beginning of times, what can you say about what you've seen behind the scenes, the growth of the whole company, Deep growing from being 16 to probably 30 now as an artist? Like,
Almost.
What's that experience for yourself been like to travel the world and you guys?
And now he's managing all these people.
And you got a full ship now, man. What's going on with all that?
Just amazing, bro. Like, everybody, like, J-Statik, like, from day one, Deep, everybody doing their part, like, mixing, mastering.
Yeah.
Everybody knows in the industry who J-Statik is.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes he underestimates himself. Like, people probably don't know me. Like, bro, you don't know yourself. Like, people know who J-Statik is. They can hear the sound and tell, like, that's J-Statik. So,
exactly.
like, everybody's making their name. That's why.
Even me, for my career, I want to say that even through my whole career as a producer, JJ has been my backbone through this whole process.
For a lot of us.
Yeah, for this whole process from when we went to India to doing thousands of songs. We have so many songs.
I remember the call.
Yeah.
I was driving away from my house, and this was like, I don't even know when the fuck this was, like 2018, 16. I don't even know what the fuck. And he's like, yo, I have a feeling that this year is going to take off. So are you still down to mix master? Like, do you still mix master? I'm like, I mean, yeah, I can. I'm down. He's like, all right, cool. Let's jump in. I'm going to send you like 2-3 songs and let's just keep it going. And from those 2-3 songs, I swear to God, I have 3 hard drives full. There's probably about 1,000 songs on that shit.
Because you
never stop.
You really didn't want to get into the Punjabi music industry. I think you
I
wanted to
always
go
wanted to do
more.
hip hop.
Yeah.
I'd like even actually, Deep first introduced me to the first guy I was kind of working Geek.
Yeah.
He's like the first like hip hop guy or R&B guy I was working with. So me and him go back.
That's
long.
So how is it? How's you working? I guess obviously Deep's gonna say great things about Parma. How's your relationship with Parma? Because you got to deal with the business side of things too.
Me and him, we don't really. I mean, I only deal with him when I come to the studio. Otherwise, it's mainly, even if it's like someone else's song, I'm usually end up talking to Deep. I think so for the most part, right?
Because we're in the studio, right?
Yeah.
He handles everything else that we don't know about.
Yeah. But if there's a song with an artist that I have to get done or anything like that, then he's the guy who yells at everybody and makes it happen.
You mix and master.
With-
Ratanu.
Huh?
Ratanu.
Oh shit! His song, yeah.
As a singer,
Is it out?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is it out? Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah.
That's dope.
Let's
hear it.
Parma, you got.
Parma, you gotta sing something.
You gotta
sing something.
I'm down. I want to
gotta
hear
sing something.
Parma. Don't line up, buddy.
Parma, I gotta ask you because I have heard or I kind of looked up. You got a classical training for music as well, right? Where was that from? From back from India?
Yeah, from India. Yeah.
And then you were pursuing a singing career, basically, right?
Actually, yeah, I was.
No, there's no shame in that, bro. Come on, like.
I'm gonna tell a story right now.
I'm
These
down.
two guys.
The first time I met Parma was he was actually at the studio he was doing a song at the studio, recording as a singer.
Yeah.
So after that, we just became really, really good friends. We started chilling and all that stuff, and just the relationship just flourished from there. But he was actually a singer.
Did you ever see yourself doing the manager role, or is it just kind of like you fell into it naturally? Like this is just working.
Manager's just a little bit thing. He's more of the company, like he handles
CEO,
everything. You know what I'm trying to say?
He's the Suge Knight of the company, basically.
You know what's good? Because he's dealt with people, and he is a singer, so he knows how he's dealt with people.
Yeah.
He knows
whether
what
it's
they're
label
like.
people, he knows what they're talking about. Everything. When it comes to Deep, obviously being born here, and I think everyone else being born here, we don't deal with people directly. And if they say, he's actually the one who taught me this, if they say one thing, they probably mean about 3 things. You got to figure out which one of those 3 things it is. He knows which one of those 3 things it is, and he knows what's up.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I guess when that call comes in from India, like we wouldn't know what to do with those people, and you don't know if they're lying or telling the truth.
I've
you
seen
need
them.
someone like Parma to kind of cut the bullshit and be like, okay,
Parma, why don't you tell them like things you do with like calls? Like what happens on you when people call you? I want to do this. Like give an example. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, it's just a normal call. Like,
This is no. Tell us, Paji. हाँ जी भाजी मैं गाना करना दीप जंडू भाई
पैसे ले आओ. Let the money talk.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
That's
Parma,
it. That's all you need.
You know, Deep is obviously a humble guy. What do you got to say about RMG family and the new stuff you guys are working on? What can we expect next?
Bro, family, I think that, like, for each member, they need to do their job. If each member is not like putting their 100%, family can grow.
Yeah.
So, like, they are giving me credit. I'm giving them credit because they deserve it. Whoever I am today because of these guys.
Yeah.
Otherwise, nobody knows me, you know? Like, nobody probably will find out who's Parma is.
Yeah.
Now, at least like 50,000 people in the whole world know who Parma is, you know what I mean?
Bro,
I think that's a big thing for me.
Everybody
That
knows who
is.
Parma
Yo,
is.
your intro in the song Sap Baliye. Oh my god.
Because of
can we
these
hear
guys,
the
again,
intro?
because of
Oh,
these
it was
guys,
like a Punjabi movie dialogue. It was delivered so fucking.
Do you remember it off the top of your head?
Yeah,
Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's do that, yo. We're gonna
Yes, one take.
Yeah,
let's
do it.
Let's do it.
Because I think the shit was so sick. I was like, the shit is so sick. They're like, okay, you do it. Like, nah, I don't want to do it. Deep was like, no, go do it. I like, no, I don't want to do it. Like, yo, don't we just do it? We'll like raise it after. Do it. I'm like, okay, let's do it, you know? And it was ਸਾਡਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਕਦਾ ਬਦਲਿਆ ਬੰਦੇ ਬਦਲਦੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਡੀ ਰੀਸ ਕਰਨੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧੰਦੇ ਬਦਲਦੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੱਟੋ ਦਿਲ ਤੇ ਮਾਰ ਗਏ ਉਹਦਾ ਦਰਦ ਥੋੜੀ ਯਾਰ ਤਾਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਬਦਲਦੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਬੱਲਿਆ ਮਰਦ ਥੋੜੀ
That's dope, man. That's dope. Parma, bro, thank you. I've been waiting for you to get on the mic and have an interview too because you're a big part of the whole team. We got to hear more from you. We're gonna have I think Minister and Parma on for a whole episode because there's a lot we could talk about with you guys.
Yeah.
Man. So we'll set that up soon, man. Sure. And we appreciate you coming out.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
No, thank you, man. Let's get to our final cut of this episode, which is Punjabi Shazam. We're going to play a quick game, Deep. They're telling me that we only got a few more minutes on the memory card, so we'll try to speed it up.
ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਰਮਾ ਰੈਲਨ ਦਾ ਮਨੀਤ ਬਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ.
we got oh, did the power just go up? No. Okay, we're good. I got to give a quick shout out to Cam from Lucid Films, shot by Dolo, Nav EI Films. We got DJ Prodigy here.
Photography.
You know, like we say, it takes a whole team to get everything done, man. The setup, we've been starting since like 1 p.m. today. It's almost 9 o'clock now. So, you know, it takes a full day to do all this, and we appreciate everybody's help. We appreciate the whole RMG team coming out. You know?
Yes.
So let's get to this game. Prodigy, how we feeling? We're feeling good. All right. So Deep, you know the rules. We kind of explained it. Where we're gonna play a snippet of a beat.
Champion. Who's the defending? He's.
I don't remember. It's been so
I don't
long.
know,
man.
No, I think I am.
I'm
pretty sure I am.
All I know is
think JJ
you won the
is.
carrier
Yeah.
one. All right.
DJ Natch is here, so just be ready.
So we do 5 songs, and then whoever gets to 3 first is the
loud?
winner.
So you just you spit it out loud?
Is it on
Yeah.
there or on
Yeah.
the speaker?
Okay.
But yo, if you say the
Just
same
yellow.
if you say the same song at the same time as like say me and you say the same song,
Yeah.
you gotta go artist name.
Was that in the headphones?
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna take one headphone off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
All right, DJ Prodigy.
So
whenever you're
soon
ready.
as he
Oh, sorry.
presses play,
Boom, you say it.
right
Yeah.
away.
Okay,
If you
cool.
can,
Let me get a
Know
sip
the
of my
name of the
drink
song?
first. Like let me just
We'll
Name of the
get,
song and then
collect
the
the
artist.
juice.
Chet and Parma,
Name of the
you guys
song
keep an eye out.
and then
Whoever you
artist.
guys see,
If you
you
have
say
to,
it
if you have
first.
to, okay.
If you have to,
judge, and if you guys see it, let us know.
If whoever you see, say it first.
Yo,
Yeah,
can we
yeah.
get like the judges looking at my
All right,
face?
let's
then?
go.
Like,
DJ Prodigy, play that first track.
Ramal
Body Kolkin.
Ramal Kulwinder Tillo College. Kulwinder
No.
Tillo College. Kulwinder Tillo College.
Romal Case Makhan.
He got it. All right, DJ M, first track. All right, track number 2. DJ Prodigy, let's go.
Oh,
I need that again.
No, that's too small, man.
We need-
Hold on. Safari.
yeah. I got
Oh! Good
Yeah.
number.
Yeah, you guys know
Yo,
this, right?
DJ Nuts is spinning it.
Sanam Puller.
All right, we got 1-1. One for DJ M,
Sujit
one for
Puller.
J-Statik.
Yeah, but I still
Yeah.
got the song. Don't
You
worry.
gotta play it a little bit longer.
DJ Prodigy, track number 3. Let's go.
Oh,
John, but Deep Jandu.
Oh, come on.
oh my God.
You didn't get that.
All right, this is where we get down to.
That's
He's
how you
got
know he
2.
doesn't perform it.
So DJ Nuts, we need that inner Nuts to come out. We can't let this guy win, man. He wins
Come
way
on.
too much.
He's the champion?
Get him,
He's
get him.
He's usually the champion. He's got 2. He needs
I want
one
the
more to
belt
win.
back.
Let's go.
DJ
trying.
Prodigy, track number 4. Let's go.
Oh, Sunday Wala Chowk.
Yeah.
He got it?
We did Pump It Up to it in
He said it first. Who
2007.
got it?
He said it first. He said it first, but then he said the whole thing after.
We need an instant replay.
he said it
We need an
first.
instant
What did he say
replay.
though?
He said
That's
Sunday.
fine. Give it to him. Fuck
All right,
it.
we're going to go 2-2.
I'll take it.
2-2.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I got
so,
that.
All right.
Yeah.
So the 4 of us are
I mean, I
out
saw
of.
him
I know I said it first.
Same
But
here.
what did you say? I didn't hear you.
I
He
said
said
Sunday all
Sunday
drunk.
all
He said
drunk.
True School, but it's just
I
all
said
all
he had
good.
Sunny
I
all
said
drunk.
Yeah.
I heard you
All
say
right,
Sunny all
guys.
drunk.
So the 4 of us are out now. It's these two,
What?
2-2.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
If anyone-
No,
No,
it's the
that's
5th
okay.
song, yeah. All right, so DJ M, J-Statik, head to head. Prodigy, you got that track? Let's go.
Chakte Boli Jazzy.
Yeah. No?
No, yo, I know it. I know it.
Desi Boliyan Jazzy.
Yo.
Jazzy B bowling.
I know it. Can I just say it?
Hold on.
No, hold on. No cheating. No cheating.
Desi Boliyan said Niaja Papi.
Yo,
Wait, relax, man.
Chill out.
I
Shut
knew
up.
it. Fuck you guys.
I know what he said. Play another song. I don't want to fucking
Is
cheat.
that what Jogi Tell No. Yeah, Jazzy B. Coca, but more waters.
Coca, yeah.
That doesn't count.
No, because he gave it.
Do it next
But that's not the original version, so you can't play that because it's a remix.
Jyoti, you can't do that. No, you're gonna
It's
get
a
disqualified.
remix version,
That's
though,
how I
so you
won
can't
at
play
the
that.
Frequency Christmas party.
You can't play that.
Penalty million.
That's a remix.
All right, we're gonna go last track, head to head. J-Statik, DJ M. Let's go.
Dolan John Jali.
There you go.
There you go, DJ M.
TJM.
All right, so it's.
That's all you, bro.
I only play and join the podcast for the belts.
Deep Jandu, man, we appreciate you coming out. Like we said, man,
Deep's
thank
like,
you for your time.
what are the rules?
Sorry, before we go, can we get a couple lines just for Jyoti?
Yeah, no,
Whatever song you want.
Whatever your favorite track is.
I'm just gonna sing the new song, man.
All right, let's do it.
ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਉਹ ਲਾਈਫ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਹਨਤੋਂ ਏ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੀ ਦਮ ਉੱਤੇ ਬਣਨਾ ਏ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਾਂਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਫੜਦਾ ਲੋਕ ਰਹਿਣ ਵੀਰੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਸੜਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਰਹਿਣ ਵੀਰੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਫੁੱਕਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਫਕਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਿਣੇ ਆ ਹਉ ਬੜੇ ਆਏ ਬੜੇ ਗਏ ਬੜੇ ਆਉਣੇ ਆ ਹਉ ਬੜੇ ਆਏ ਬੜੇ ਗਏ ਬੜੇ ਆਉਣੇ ਆ
Sick track.
Sick.
Let's go. Frequency of Friends season
Manna,
4.
I see you.
Let's go. We're out. Thank you, boys. Go.
Sick episode.